A very good evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. A very good evening to all. I, Utkarsha Pramod Gavare, Chief Associate Editor of Just Agriculture magazine, on behalf of Just Agriculture and Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society, Punjab, cordially welcomes you all to the 14th day of Agriculture 2.0, a next-level approach towards sustainability, smart farming, and agri-innovation. This 15 days international online training cum workshop program. This program is jointly organized by Just Agriculture with Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society, Punjab. I would like to appreciate our co-organizers, which are NAHEB, MPUIT Udaipur, Maharana Pratap Horticulture University, Karnal, and also want to express my sincere gratitude to our knowledge partners, which are Professor Jaishankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, Hyderabad, Vidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, West Bengal, Shulini University, Solan, HP, Utkarsh PDKV, Akola, and Jagannath University. Before beginning of the program, I would like to tell our participants about the organizers of this program. Just Agriculture is India's most rising agriculture magazine with more than 1.05 lakh readers in India. It is the most credible platform for researchers, students, and scientists to share their ideas and latest innovative topics. On the other hand, Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society aims at enhancing the livelihood opportunities for more than 1 million farm households in the country. These both are amongst the largest networks of agriculture and allied sector professionals in the country right now. Now, coming to the session, today I feel privileged to welcome our guest of honor and speaker of this session, Dr. Sindhu Bhaskar sir, Chairman and CEO of EST Global Incorporated US. Now, before taking the session further, I would like to give a brief introduction of our speaker. Dr. Sindhu Bhaskar is the co-chairman and CEO of EST Global Incorporated, EST Global Incorporated, an enterprise based in the Boston Cambridge MIT ecosystem, incorporated and operating from Cambridge Innovation Center, Cambridge. Dr. Sindhu has worked his career to global leadership in transforming the financial ecosystem through digital evolution, fintech revolution, and financial inclusion. He is now leading an initiative to impact a majority of the world's population in the rural farming sector. With an initial beginning in India, where 2/3 of India's population needs intervention. EST Group comprises of a number of enterprises like EST Capital, AG, Switzerland, EST Growmore in Uruguay and Canada, EST Branch X in UK, Fintech EST in Peru, Branch X in India, EST Fintech, and World Trading League in Singapore, to name a few. With a 3 decades of niche experience, Dr. Sindhu is a firm believer in innovation-driven entrepreneurship. Dr. Sindhu is a thought leader in the banking and financial services sector. He is a leading global initiative to enable a program that is unified, secure, sovereign banking solution that is seamless and enables financial freedom. EST Group is firmly set towards the goal of borders banking, a banking ecosystem that transcends the boundary of currency exchange and roadblocks like identity verification and re-verification. This vision is possible by unleashing emerging technologies' potential, understanding countries' problems, investing in alliances and partners to complement the ecosystem. He is very active in Africa, partnering with local banks and local companies. Similarly, he has forged governmental relations, which expands his ecosystem and gets involved in meaningful development agenda to work towards a new development and growth theory. Some of his present engagements include Senior Advisor at Global Chamber of Business Leaders, Senator of World Business Angels Investment Forum, which is an affiliated partner of the G20 Global Membership for Financial Inclusion, board member of Government Blockchain Association and global head of Banking and Finance chapter of Government Blockchain Association, Washington, DC. CEO and co-founder of International Institute of Influencers, international director and investor, BranchX India, board member of MSME Business Forum India, JV partner and investor of 𝐏𝐻𝐿YT, advisory mentor and investor of Advisory Mandi and Invest 19 India, advisory mentor and investor of Cashless Bazaar India, fintech and digital partner of EcoBank Mozambique, JV partner with 𝐶𝐚 Mobile Singapore and Ghana, Tanzania, strategic partner development Umoja South Africa, strategic partner Anda Global Ghana Limited, speaker of fintech and banking in various global forums, speaker at several management institutes in India and other countries, co-chair advisory governing council applied blockchain center for fintech Vellore Institute of Technology Vellore, Tamil Nadu, India, leader assessor of blockchain for fintech leaders and practitioners certification program, Institute of Banking and Finance, Singapore. Some of his recent awards include Top Executive Award and listing in Marquis WHO's third position in the World CEO of the Year 2020, Top 100 Finance Professional, among the top most admired global Indian 2021, Business Leadership Award, Indian Achievers Forum 2021. No doubt, we have a huge personality with us, which is going to adorn our session a lot. We welcome you, sir, on behalf of Just Agriculture team. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It was a long introduction. I thought you would have shortened it. That would have been better. But I would like to ask one thing. Will you like me to speak only in English, or I should mix it with Hindi, English?
So you can have both. No issues with that.
Yeah, because I feel slightly my agriculture 2.0, 3.0, all those things, those are somewhat theoretical also. So maybe with Hindi, there'll be more interaction and understanding of people. Of course, I don't want to demean the capabilities of people, but still.
No, sir, no issues. You can go with Hindi also, sir.
Okay, thanks. Good evening, friends. It is an honor for me to speak before you, and my introduction has been given in quite lengthy manner, so I will not like to proceed with that again. But I am just like anyone else, a very humble worker, and I am trying to create something for society and give it back to them. And there was no better thing than to indulge oneself in agriculture and transformation of rural economy. So basically my presentation and my talk is on rural transformation, because till now what we have seen, if you start from agriculture 1.0, now what was agriculture 1.0? Trace it from the primitive times where there was food hunting and nomadic life, then there was settled life, so agriculture started. So 1.0 was for mass production and for society, which came into being. Agriculture 2.0 similarly focused more on inventions, mechanization, so that there should be ease of doing agriculture, and there should be more focus on the cultivators, the farmers. So this is the basic concept of agriculture 2.0. Now here we have different technologies by which we have created different mechanical equipments and other even seeds, irrigation facilities, all those things we have tried to create in a different manner so that there should be ease of agriculture occupation, and there should be say well-being of the farmers, and they can have better return for their investment by way of their capital, by way of their labor, by way of their time. So this has been the focus of agriculture 2.0. Now what I am trying to talk of is we cannot just work with individual farmers and growth of farmers, enrichment of farmer as the need for rural transformation. What we need now in India is total rural transformation. And here, farmers have to be units of economies interacting with each other and totally integrated to each other so that a total ecosystem of rural economy can be created in which every participant, every farmer gets the benefit. And it is not only the welfare of the farmer, but also the development of the agriculture technique, agriculture sector. So this is what I am trying to say and describe before you. I think we should have the presentation now. Can we have the presentation?
Is it visible?
Can we see it?
Chetan, it is visible?
Yes, it's perfectly visible.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, sir, you can start now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is why the topic of my presentation is agriculture needs to be a development tool. So we are not only talking of individual farmers, but we are talking of the multitude of farmers, the total farming community as a whole. So next slide, please. Yeah, so in agriculture 2.0, as I explained to you, that agriculture 2.0 is basically a tech-based model and is basically mechanization. The focus is on the protagonist, the farmers, and the base and the ease of doing agriculture. In other words, technology is trying to better the returns of farmers on the basis of their investment, their time, their labor, and that is all what we are seeing. And that is what the fight has been, because when government tries to interfere in anything, it is seen as infringement of individual liberty, individual rights. But of course, we are not going to discuss politics, so we will shift to our topic. So, now, next slide, please. If you see the problems in agriculture sector, there are multiple. In spite of talking of agriculture 1.0, 2.0, we have not been able to get rid of all the problems. Of course, we have got green revolution in India, so we have huge production of rice, wheat in different pockets, but we have not been able to multiply our agriculture to different sectors, to different crops, different practices. So we are still lagging behind, and that is why the overall condition of the rural economy is not that healthy. Now, if you look at the problems that we see in the present agriculture sector, in spite of agriculture 2.0, what we find there is low income, employment and migration issue is there. Supply chain is not representative of the farmers. Credit and finance is a big problem. Farmers have to commit suicide because of the pressure of loan repayment. Timely, they don't get the cash input which they can put in the farming. So farming fails. So all sorts of problems are there which are interlinked to each other. Agrotech, what we are facing, agrotech, you have seen so many companies have come up. What they are working on, it is either pre-harvest or pro-harvest. Post-harvest. And in the pre-harvest, again, we are focusing on breeder seeds, quality of seeds, then some tilling and ploughing machines, tractors. In the post-harvest, again, harvesting techniques. And the biggest revolution that has now come with the fintech is creation of new markets, decentralized markets, which are picking up, but there are a lot of opposition also to that. So these are different problems that are emerging in the agriculture sector, in spite of all our efforts and big chunk of money going out from government to agriculture sector and for rural development. Even food adulteration is not properly checked. So there is no value added services which can create further enhanced income to farmers. And of course, transparency is totally missing because there are layers of intermediaries. That's why it cannot be moved in a very, very transparent manner because the intermediary creates a blockage so that the information does not leak out to the other side. Otherwise, their profitability will be at jeopardy. So that's why we have total opaque structure. Besides these latest problems that we are seeing in the farming sector, the old issues also continue. If you can see the next slide, please. Old issues of farmers still continue because land holdings are still small. They are not created a pool of land holdings and agriculture is done on a bigger scale. That is still not there. So cooperative farming is not very popular. Then qualities of seeds still not proper and farmers have to suffer because they buy, they put those seeds and still the result is not very encouraging. Control of middlemen and lending practices are there, gamble of monsoon because still we have to go by the meteorological department and sometimes the predictions are correct, sometimes not. So still we are unable to handle all these issues at the rural level. Now, when we see that the range of problems are there, you have to have a range of solutions. So you cannot just focus on the farmer itself or on the machination of the agricultural system. That's why it has to be a composite rural development mechanism, which will take care of not only farmers, because rural economy is consisting of your farming as well as rural artisans. So who is going to take care of them? They are also part of the farming community, you can say, because they are creating so many equipments for farmers. So we have to create that mix and balance of these activities and create a composite development scenario. So I have come up with a solution, which you can see in the next slide. It is a 12-pronged solution and it has 12 steps. First is we have to create a transparent, trusted, verifiable and decentralized supply chain. Because until unless you have the supply chain, which is very, very trusted, overseas buyers and others will not be very much interested in your product and you cannot have enhanced value for your production. Then you have to have direct access to market. Here we are linked to markets through intermediaries. So what happens if intermediaries, whatever rates they quote to you, you have to go by them. If you don't go by them, they will literally bully you and your stock can remain idle and other stocks can be transacted because you have not satisfied the intermediaries. So until unless you have this direct interaction with market, your own return cannot improve. Okay, there's some message like please share this PPT in group today, as it is not visible. Then the third is distributed wealth mechanism. Like we cannot have rich farmers, poor farmers. That is the system here right now. Those who are rich farmers, they are big landlords. So whatever money they have, they don't have any other investment opportunity. So they divert their money and use it for lending purposes at an exorbitant rate. So with that, they try to suck the capital which is created or the wealth that is created from farmers out of the production cycle. The fourth is the series of application for the rural community address the rural needs. So we have to have different level of applications which should be specific to the rural needs. You cannot mix the urban and rural needs, because till now whatever we have seen is urban community, urban system, urban economy is guiding the rural economy. Rural economy does not have its own say. So you have to create that urban economy. Then only you can take care of the participants of the rural economy, who are basically farmers and artisans. Rural employment by introducing and providing economic activity. Same thing I am repeating, that it is not only farming, not only rural artisanship. You have to create employment opportunities. Then there will not be case of migrant labor. There will be home-centric labor force, because there will be rural industries. And whatever we have been talking about rural industries and all, they have not taken off. How many industries you can see in rural areas? At the most, we talk of, okay, we will have tomato ketchup, sauce, all those guava jelly, mango jelly, and all that. So we are stuck up on those things. But that cannot create real development. That should be an additional industrial layer, because their shelf life is also very small. You cannot ship it out. You cannot create market for that, because there are big food companies who have much better products. So you cannot compete with them. Then the next point is bring forth the underprivileged. So underprivileged has to be brought in the system. You cannot have system only for the best people, or say the strong people, and the marginal and weak people should be left behind. That is not the concept of participative capitalism. And any economy grows when there is participation of all the participants. So when we talk of participative capitalism, it is not Marxism and all that, capitalism, socialism. No, we are talking of creation of wealth. So it is participatory movement to create wealth, to create betterment, to create better economic situation. So our agriculture should look to that. It has to be a most important segment of rural transformation. It should not be just occupation-based activity, but it should be a part of the bigger wheel, giant wheel. The next point is practical implementation of information technology in agriculture. Now, what happens when we are totally disconnected with the information system? There is no, like if there is locust attack, say in one village, the other villagers may not know. However, the cities may know, because there is some reporter who has come out with the news. So if the neighborhood is able to interact and see what is happening in the neighborhood, what sort of development, what sort of economic issues, what sort of plant health issues are there, then that can be replicated to further different places, and you can connect, you can create a combined information system of agricultural practices and economic information, which will be helpful in pulling out your system. Next point is branding and certification of products. Of course, if you don't have quality product, there cannot be any branding and certification for sure. Monitoring and analyzing the records of different crops. So if you don't maintain a record of all your activities, you cannot have a proper management system. So you have to create an agriculture management system, then only it can be a serious affair. Otherwise, we are still trying to do various tricks and trying to see if it can succeed. And it merely remains a political jargon and rhetoric, nothing else. Decentralized ledger provides transparent economic driven system. Now, again, because we don't have proper records, the whole veracity and genuineness and truthfulness of our records is also in jeopardy. So we don't know whether we are able to depend, like right now, just see the case of COVID. So many people keep on saying, okay, all the records are false, no record is genuine, fake news, all those things, because we are not following the system, we are not following those scientific principles to record our data and to record the communication, to record the facts and figures, which can create a transparent result. So that is what is, again, a part of the solution that we have to incorporate. Empower farmers to select and buy right seed, fertilizers, and other supplies. Again, this is, you cannot have outsiders guiding you and taking you to the pond. We have to be our own masters. We have to go to the pond and drink water ourselves. No one else can push us that, okay, do this, do that, because we are the people who have to work and do everything. So we have to be our masters and our deciding element. And the last one, which I think is very, very important, is conserve local farming knowledge and recreate the economic e-commerce between the farming community. It is part of the same management system that village A must interact with village B, and their economies must integrate and interact with each other. So when I talked of creation of local economic units interacting and integrating with each other with new technology to support them and aid them, that will lay the foundation of rural transformation, and that will create the total transformation in lives of farmers, rural artisans, everyone. And that will be a permanent scenario and situation. Next slide, please. So now I will try to limit it that in a rural society, we have to focus on farmers, our rural artisans, and the funding system, because that is going to be very, very crucial for us. Because funding is there, adequate finance goes into the system, then you can go ahead with all the investments required for the agriculture practices and other things. Next slide, please. Here I am creating one this artificial intelligence for development of information system, which can create economic revival and renewal also. And I am showing you that how the system gets blocked due to intermediaries. So in both the figures you are seeing, the system is getting a roadblock at the hands of intermediary, so it is not able to progress further. So the whole plan is like in the next slide. In the next slide, we discuss the plan that there are some conclusions that we have now come. That we don't have shortage of money, because government of India is sending out a lot of money to rural areas, but it is not reaching. Now with direct transfer, okay, money is reaching to so many other people, but still there has to be concerted effort and like coordinated effort of different financing agencies to create better economic infrastructure and better economic funding availability for different activities. Then a singular app shall do the benefit which other people are trying to do. That if you have a bigger application in which you are taking care of each and every requirement, then what happens that you don't have to look to different sections and different application to perform one process. it will be a continuous process through one single application. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all this will be used to analyze data, segregate them, and blockchain will be created for proof of identity. Digital identities will be created, genuineness of record will be established. All this is available in the next slide. Next slide, please. So, with all these solutions in sight on the basis of the factors that we discussed earlier, we came across 4 basic pillars for rural development. Now, these 4 pillars are your capital aggregation, then you have capital utilization, then you have capital replenishment, and then you have the marketplace. Now, if these 4 activities are coordinated and created in the rural economy, you are taking care of each and everything. Now, let us talk of capital aggregation. In capital aggregation, what you do, you are bringing all the sources of funding, coming together, joining hands, and providing the funds required. So it is not that there is one rural bank which is giving the funding, or there is one rural branch of, say, Bank of Baroda in one of the remote corners that is taking care of funding, and there is nothing else. So it is not like that. Now, village-wise, what we can do, or the need-wise, different, like banks, rural funding entities, NBFCs, even corporate houses which are interested in doing funding, because with decentralized economy, different corporate houses have jumped the fray and they are doing microcredit, so many other agricultural practices. They have mechanized it, and they have used technology to create marketplace for different farming products and all. So with this system of capital aggregation, you are providing a fillip and you are providing a push to the requirement of funds, because it is huge. Our total population is 1.3 billion people, and out of that, the majority is the rural population. So for that, you have to like segregate and concentrate all that funds towards rural economy and their development. Then only it can come up. It is not that with like segregated entities or segregated institutions you can create anything. It has to be a very, very coordinated and concerted effort. So when capital is created and there are different entities who have joined hands, then what is going to happen? When fund is available, fund can be disbursed to those rural people, farmers, artisans. Now, what happens there? That is called capital utilization. The capital that has been created is being utilized by way of agricultural input assistance. So they can be given to farmers, they can be given to artisans, and they can utilize it for agricultural activities, for development of rural industries. Now, why I'm talking of all this? Because even I have created my own rural platform, which is called EST Global, and it is created like this, on this model. And we are launching it on 23rd of January. So whatever we tried to do in the pilot project in one of the areas in Jharkhand, we saw that it was really moving very well. So if you try to create and combine all the forces, they have better result than secluded entities trying to work. That's why now we talk of startups, we talk of ecosystem of startups, that different startups can come together and work together. So what will happen? You don't have to duplicate your efforts. One entity is doing work A, another will be working B, like that. So you have divided your work, everyone is taking care of every part, and the result is always more than the combination of the parts. So that theory is called the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. So ABCD, like 1, 2, 3, 4 will like, or say 1 plus 1 will not be 2, 1 plus 1 will be 3. So this is the concept. So that is why the focus is on ecosystem nowadays. So capital utilization will be towards providing loans and lending to farmers. Now, just look at the situation. Whatever we have, whatever advancement we are talking of in agriculture, have we got rid of local landlords, rural landlords who are giving loans to farmers? No. They are at exorbitant rate, yes. And we have seen in case of India that due to repayment of government loans, bank loans, so many farmers have to commit suicide. Why? Because this agriculture failed for that year. They could not create any produce, and because the did not support, there was flooding, there was like drought, and they had nothing. So they lost everything. So they could not return the money. And in turn, out of frustration, out of helplessness, they committed suicide. So all those things we have to tackle. We cannot think that, okay, let them commit suicide. We cannot think of that. We will just keep sending money. No. If that money goes, it has to be utilized in such a manner that the poor farmer does not have to commit suicide. By only saying that they should not commit suicide, it cannot be done. There has to be a process for that, and everyone needs to be involved in that. So in capital utilization, we are creating those type of loans which can be for long term. So what happens when the farmers are given loan for say 3 years or 5 years? What happens? If first year they get the loan, they utilize it for agricultural practices. Now, weather does not support them, everything fails. But they don't have to be under pressure because they don't have to make the repayment. The repayment will be done after another 4 years. So they have time. So we are sure they will not commit suicide. Then they will say, okay, next year we will see. And whatever we have seen in India, that there has not been continuous drought or continuous flooding and all that. It is nearly every alternate year or say every 2 years. So if you give them a long-term loan, you are taking care of all those problems. And there is no problem because how all those financial institutions have joined hands and made the fund available. So that is perfectly fine. They can, when they can give big loans to big people and get robbed by them, why can't they give loan here when it is so important and urgent? And we have also created a system in which what happens that whatever loan they are giving to farmers, we are converting it into a digital asset or a bond. And that bond is being sold to different investors, HNIs and other banks and other financial institutions, corporate houses who make investment. You have all these situations and cases in India. You have Kisan Vikas bond, you have farmer bond, and so many things. So it is not out of blue that whatever I am telling you, it is just out of blue. No, it is very much there. We just have to reschedule everything and repackage everything and present it to the rural economic system so that it can be beneficial to them and everyone can get the benefit out of it. Now, what happens when we have created that type of situation? Different bonds are being purchased by different entities. That money comes in, goes towards the banks, their loan outstanding is liquidated. So what happens? They cannot put pressure on farmers for repayment because they have already got back their money. Now the issue is after 5 years, we have to make repayment to the HNIs. Okay, fine. Whatever is there, we will create a sinking fund. If you see the picture here, we are talking of sinking fund. And in that, see, capital replenishment. We are creating a sinking fund. In that, part amount from every year production and profit goes towards that sinking fund. If crop fails, there is government subsidy. Government subsidy comes in, 50% goes towards sinking fund, 50% can go towards reactivation of the agriculture. There is crop insurance. That money comes in, 50% again goes towards agriculture, restarting the whole process, 50% towards sinking fund. So this way, you can divide your resources, take care of the repayment on a long-term basis. But the main moving part is that farmers have to be direct to the market. So our last section is marketplace, in which what we are trying to do, we have created 4 markets. It is peer-to-peer market because now you can see so many people are interested in having their share of farms so that they can go every weekend and get vegetables and fruits from those farms and use it for their family. So that has become a sort of hobby type of things. So P2P, then local market, then national market, and 4th is the international market. All those rates are available before the farmers that, okay, these are the different rates for different products in these markets. Wherever they want to go, they can go. And everything is available on the same app. And this marketing plan, we have put it on blockchain with all the supply chain management system so that all information of their movement of product from one farm to buyer through different logistic provider, through different warehousing supports, everything is mapped. So you have the full traceability of the product, full traceability of the movement of your agricultural product. Even the buyer knows who is providing that product, from which farm it is coming. So that's the concept, we call it farm to fork concept. किस फार्म से वहां पैदावार हुआ है और किस बायर के पास जा रहा है, किस लॉजिस्टिक कौन सा रोडवेज है या एयरवेज है या शिपिंग लाइन है, किसके थ्रू ये सारा प्रोड्यूस जा रहा है, वो सारे का आपको रिकॉर्ड मिलता है. कब चला, कितने दिन में कहाँ है और कितने दिन में पहुंचेगा, वो सारा आपको रिपोर्ट उस पे मिलता जाता है. So this is how your marketplace is developed, which is going to again create profitability for you because you are direct to the buyer. And even the buyers and sellers can again interact with each other. Now you are hearing the concept of metaverse, NFTs, all those things. We have created the concept of rural verse. Rural verse में क्या है कि buyer and seller दोनों दो avatar के form में हैं. वो दोनों मेटावर्स में, रूरल वर्स में मिल रहे हैं. एंड जो सेलर है वो अपने फील्ड का इंस्पेक्शन करा रहा है या अपने क्रॉप का इंस्पेक्शन करा रहा है, जिसमें लैटिट्यूड लॉन्गिट्यूड सारा चीज दिखाया हुआ है कि इस लैटिट्यूड पे है, इस लॉन्गिट्यूड पे है. आप वेरीफाई कर सकते हैं कि वो सही है कि गलत है, या कोई उसको मैनिपुलेट कर रहा है, कोई पिक्चर बना के कर रहा है. वो सब चीज का वहां पे प्रोविजन नहीं रहेगा. So it gives the full transparency and reliability of the data that is being provided by the seller to the buyer. So when the buyer sees that, okay, everything is fine, they can conclude the deal there and through smart contract, everything can be executed. So that is how now things are moving. This is what is called technology. And this technology is, again, we will define it and we'll call it that it should be not only 2.0, it is part of 3.0, and we should move to 3.0. 2.0 is simply mechanization. We are just using some technology here and there. But at global level, now we are talking of agriculture 4.0. So if we have to keep pace with overseas and global market, we have to be very fundamentally very strong with our technology, with our activities. And you people must be hearing about ESG, environment, society, and governance. Then people are talking of SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, circular economy. All these concepts are very important in farming. Punjab ka stubble burning is a major issue. Of course, there are so many angles to it. We don't discuss angles. Okay, we are not interested in that. Stubble burning is the issue. So stubble burning, how it can be utilized to create part of your production cycle. That is sort of what you call circular economy. That will be part of your environment. So your activity and your working should be phygital. It has to be physical model with digital. So it has to be humanistic as well as technology. So humanism and technology have to combine together to create a good rural transformation. And with all this, next slide, please. I have already discussed all the segments like capital aggregation. Next slide, please. So capital aggregation we discussed. Please keep moving. Capital utilization, lending. I explained to you that how different institutions can combine together, create the bond or e-bond or e-receipt, and create funds which will neutralize the bank outstanding. Next one. Smart crop economy. This is what I was discussing, that how it will go towards the farming part and how it will create a long-term loan for farmers so that they don't commit suicide, and with the sinking fund and everything, the loan will get repaid again after 3 or 5 years, whatever you decide. And it is not out of blues, because government has all those schemes, Kisan Vikas Patra, Kisan Bond, and different banks, different NBFCs, they issue it. We just have to recalibrate everything and everything is fine. Next slide, please. So this was the most important thing, marketplace, that you have to have the direct connect, losing all the and getting rid of all the intermediaries, so that the maximum benefit can come to the farmers, and that should create the capital for them, the wealth for them. Now the next one, please. Next slide. Integrated supply chain management. I talked of it about the blockchain based, how the farm to fork and all those points. Next one, please. Production to sell process traceability. So इसमें पिक्चर में आप देखेंगे कि सारा पॉइंट्स दिया हुआ है कि कैसे कैसे वी आर मूविंग एंड हाउ यू कैन ट्रेस एंड ट्रैक एवरीथिंग, फ्रॉम विच फार्म, कि मिस्टर रामलाल के फार्म से ये जो यहाँ पे सिचुएटेड है, इस इतने लैटिट्यूड इतने लॉन्गिट्यूड, वहां से चला है, इस कोरियर से चला है, and that is how it is reaching. अगर वो एक दिन का जर्नी है एंड 10 दिन में जर्नी में पहुंचा, तो यू कैन आस्क द ट्रांसपोर्टर हाउ इज इट दैट इट इज रीचिंग इन 10 days. So all these things are making different agencies responsible to the buyers and sellers. They cannot fool. पहले होता था ना कि ट्रांसपोर्टर लेकर चला, हाँ भाई उधर ट्रक खराब हो गया, 10 दिन पड़ा हुआ है, उसमें आपका स्टॉक सड़ गया. अब वो सब चीज नहीं हो सकता. You can have a full tracking system of all your movements. Next one, please. So with all this money, which is with direct sale and all, whatever money you create, we have created again another investment opportunities for rural India, which we call e-rural 19. In that, you can even spend with 10 rupees, 20 rupees, like systematic investment plan type of situation, so that your wealth is doubled and multiplied, because that is the concept. If you keep on growing your wealth, then you have confidence in your activities and your action, and you can keep on adopting innovations. ESG, SDG, ये सब जितने भी terms है international organizations के, सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन जो गरीब किसान है वो कहाँ से क्या कर लेगा? वो कुछ भी नहीं कर सकेगा. जब उसके पास पैसा रहेगा, when they have resources, they can be channelized to all those activities, and then all those high sounding words will make sense to our economy and our system. Next one, please. Next slide. So this is different types of investment opportunities. They will only go for government securities, so that it is not a like what should I say, gambling type of on equity market, because in government securities you have assured return. Next one, please. Next slide. Keep moving. Next one. So this is how you are creating benefits for farmers. Then you have benefits for end customers, sellers. Next one. And then finally you have even benefits for government, because government, all their schemes will be very, very successful and will be meeting the logical end if both the parties and all the parties are successful. Next one. Next one. So this is the final diagram, EST Agrex ecosystem of development that we have created. And in this, you will see the tiny industry here, which does not correspond to the government nomenclature of tiny industry. It is like 5 लाख रुपया उसको लगाया, रूरल आर्टिजन्स को दिया कि भाई तुम नट बोल्ट ही बनाओ सिर्फ. वहां पे आयरन है उस एरिया में, तो उस एरिया से आयरन अपना उसको मिल गया, वो सिर्फ नट बोल्ट बनाया और वो एक्सपोर्ट किया, उससे उसका एक्सपोर्ट अर्निंग हुआ, तो उसके कंपनी को हम लिस्ट कर दिया रूरल एक्सचेंज में, जो हमने ये डेवलप किया कॉन्सेप्ट, एंड 2019 में अनाउंस किया था कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रूरल एक्सचेंज. अभी आरबीआई और सेबी इसको लोकल एक्सचेंज के नाम से इस पे सिंपोजियम और डिस्कशन हो रहा है. Soon it should be approved, and it will be a very, very novel thing for a rotation of rural economy and rural wealth. Because अभी क्या है कि urban stock exchange, urban economy, urban population is guiding everything. Here, with all this, our rural economy will become independent and will be out of the appendage system of urban economy. So rural economy का अपना say रहेगा, अपना वजूद रहेगा, and they will be contributing to national economy. So when our government talks of 5 trillion economy or 10 trillion economy, whatever it is, every participant can be participating in that work, and the whole intention will be noble, and we will be able to achieve those figures because we are creating a cluster of economies, rural economies. हर एक गांव का अपना अपना एक क्लस्टर हो गया, वो सारे लोग जुड़कर एक इकोसिस्टम बनाए अपने इकोनॉमी का, and that creates the growth and development, and rural economy will have its own say. So farmers will be happy, artisans will be happy. और जो ये हमने कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप किया था रूरल आर्टिजन्स का, रूरल इंडस्ट्री का, गवर्नमेंट हैज आल्सो कम आउट विद उभरते सितारे, आपने सुना होगा, उसमें है कि जो एक्सपोर्ट करेगा उसको इंसेंटिव मिलेगा। तो जो जो चीज हमने डेवलप किया है वो सारा चीज एक तरह से गवर्नमेंट के नोटिफिकेशन से अप्रूव भी होता गया है। तो हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म को किसी भी तरह का कोई लाइसेंस नहीं लेना है, कुछ भी नहीं लेना है। एंड जितने भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का जो भी टेंडर आ रहा है उसमें जितना चीज उनको रिक्वायरमेंट है वो सिर्फ हमारे ही प्लेटफॉर्म में है, क्योंकि बिकॉज वी हैव डेवलप्ड द होल प्लेटफॉर्म बाय इन द विजन ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ रूरल इकोनॉमी इन विच farmer has 3 roles: as buyer, as producer of crop, as seller of crop, and then finally as creator of wealth. तो जब ये कॉन्सेप्ट से आप रूरल डेवलपमेंट करते हैं तो फार्मर्स का डेवलपमेंट होता है, एंड दैट गोज टू टेक रूरल इकोनॉमी एंड एग्रीकल्चर, इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर, टू एग्रीकल्चर 4.0, which is based on precision farming and circular economy and digital farming. So this is what is our humble effort, and this is what I can share with you. Baki agar if you have any question, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll be taking few questions now.
Sure.
Sir, the first question is that how much time will it take to complete the whole process of digitalization?
No, everything moves simultaneously because one for cropping season, जैसे आपने एक क्रॉप को समझिए राइस का ही किया है, तो 3 months 4 months का आप सीजन रखिए, तो एक स्टेज से दूसरे स्टेज में आपको पहुंचने में 3 महीना लगेगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं लगेगा। तो हर एक सेक्शन को आप साइमल्टेनियसली आपको एक्टिवेट करके चलना है, क्योंकि कितने जगह लोग हैं। अब जैसे पोटैटो है, पोटैटो प्री हार्वेस्ट में ही उसका सेल हो जाता है। लेस कंपनी जो है वो पोटैटो को प्री हार्वेस्ट में ही करती है। कितना कंपनीज है कि वो सर्टेन एरियाज फील्ड का लेकर उसमें प्रोडक्शन करवाते हैं, तो कमिटेड प्रोडक्शन रहता है, तो वो सब चीज को आप ऑटोमेटिकली शुरू से ही डाल दे सकते हैं। तो इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू टेक मच ऑफ टाइम, इट इज ओनली आवर रिजॉल्व, वी हैव टू बी रेजोल्यूट अबाउट इट, that we will implement it and we'll adopt it. That's what is required.
Yes, sir. Sir, how can we make sure these funds are received by the needies?
Because everything is going through wallet services, no? So everything is going directly to the farmers. There is no one. And for that, what we have done, देखिए अभी फिर इसको हिंदी में भी हम समझाते हैं कि क्या हो गया कि डिजिटलाइजेशन भी हुआ, but people are not digital savvy. सभी जगह साउथ इंडिया में पीपल आर मोर डिजिटल सर्वी, नॉर्थ इंडिया में नहीं है। तो अब उसमें क्या है कि उसमें भी आपके पास आ गए इंटरमीडियरीज कि हाँ चलो बाबा हम आपका करा देते हैं बैंकिंग, डिजिटल बैंकिंग कराते हैं, तो वो 10 रुपया उधर जाता है, 10 रुपया वो भी निकाल लेते हैं क्योंकि कोड उनके पास रहता है। तो हमने क्या किया है कि हमने इसमें वॉइस प्रोटोकॉल भी ऐड कर दिया है कि वॉइस स्कैनिंग, ये आपका थंब इम्प्रेशन भी लिया प्लस आइरिस स्कैन भी हुआ। तो सारे चीज को जब आप कनेक्ट करेंगे तभी आपका ट्रांजैक्शन होगा। तो अगर वो बोल रहा है, कोई बोला कि हमको 10 रुपया लेना है, तो उसको 10 रुपया ही ट्रांजैक्शन होगा, क्योंकि 20 रुपया जो बोलता है उसका वहां पे एप्लीकेशन है ही नहीं। उसका वहां पे पिक्चर या वॉइस प्रोटोकॉल रिकॉर्डेड है ही नहीं, तो इसलिए आप उसको ब्लॉक कर सकते हैं। टेक्नोलॉजी में है आपके पास प्रोविजन कि आप ब्लॉक कर। और दूसरी चीज है कि हर जगह पे आप स्मार्टफोन भी नहीं यूज कर सकते हैं, तो अब सबको आप कितना स्मार्टफोन दीजिएगा, कहीं पे हो सकता है मिले कहीं नहीं मिले, तो कितने जगह फीचर फोन भी है, तो फीचर फोन में फिर आप डिफरेंट ढंग से उसको हम लोग कर रहे हैं। उसमें ई वाउचिंग सिस्टम वाला करके वहाँ स्ट्रिंग ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, उससे हम लोग मैनेज कर रहे हैं। तो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सिस्टम को अडॉप्ट करना पड़ रहा है, but it will take time, but it will definitely happen.
Yes, sir. Sir, how will you promote this whole system once it is established?
This is what is happening because I'm based at MIT. वहाँ US में भी इंडिया से लोग और US के लोग हमको अप्रोच करते हैं कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का ऑर्डर निकला, टेंडर निकला, सो आइए आप हमारे पार्टनर बन जाइए और साथ में आप फ्रंटल पार्टी रहिए, क्योंकि आपके पास सारा कुछ है, हमारे पास नहीं है। एंड इट इज अ फैक्ट, क्योंकि इंडिया में जो भी एग्रीकल्चर का डेवलपमेंट है एंड जो भी एप्स है, वो सारे लोग आइदर प्री हार्वेस्ट या पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट पे ही फोकस किए हैं या एग्रीकल्चर इनपुट पे किए हैं। एक कंटिन्यूटी में हर एक फैसिलिटी का नहीं है सिस्टम, तो इसलिए क्या होता है कि वो ब्रेक हो जाता है। तो ब्रेक होने पे फिर अगेन आपको फियर है कि कोई इंटरमीडियरी का इंटरफियरेंस हो जाएगा। तो द होल scheme of things and the whole concept of intermediary free system will again collapse. So that and हमारे इसमें है कि आप जब शुरू में ही आपने ऑनबोर्डिंग किया सॉरी, वहीं पे सारा डिटेल्स आपका इस ढंग से लिया कि अगर आपको लोन भी चाहिए तो हमको बाद में फिर आपसे कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं चाहिए, उसी इंफॉर्मेशन पे आपका लोन भी हो गया। अगर आप खुद बेचना भी चाह रहे हैं तो आप सीधे सेलर का रोल में आप आगे बढ़ जाइए, आपको कोई रोक नहीं सकता, आप उसी ऐप पे काम करते जा सकते हैं। इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है तो वो भी आप खुद कर लीजिए, उसी ऐप पे आप काम कर सकते हैं, सब एक ही ऐप से जुड़ा हुआ है।
Okay, sir. So what will be the criteria for investment ideas on organic farming?
See, the criteria for investment in any organic farming is always returns, because that is the main basis for any investment, how much you are going to have returns on your investment. So if you have returns on your investment, it is good investment. If not, it is bad. As simple as that. And organic farming is very much in demand right now. So if you are really cautious about it, and if you are very, say, working with open eyes and mind, then you can definitely make good money, no doubt about it.
Sir, please tell how blockchain technology and IoT can help farmers or FPOs.
तो सारा अभी प्रेजेंटेशन उसी पे था, ब्लॉकचेन एंड IoT पे। देखिए IoT में क्या हो गया कि आप हार्डवेयर यूज करते हैं अपने किसी भी एक्टिविटी को डिटरमिन करने के लिए। अब जैसे मान लीजिए आपके जमीन को हमको नापना है, तो हाउ एम आई गोइंग टू डू इट? अब हम हर जगह तो कितना नापते चलेंगे, कितने लोग हैं वो एग्जैक्ट मेजरमेंट करें नहीं करें, तो देयर आर सेंसर्स, so IoTs devices which are called sensors, so वो sensors लगाया and through our app they determine the sensors and they with that they demarcate what is the length and breadth and area of this. Then there are other drone facilities also which we have also got, by which drones they map the area of those agricultural plots by taking into consideration those sensors which are utilized there. So that's how everything moves. And blockchain क्या है? Blockchain में है कि आप एक information का एक block create करते हैं, तो जैसे जैसे multiple information आता है उसको एक दूसरे से कनेक्ट करते जाते हैं, और वो हर एक इंफॉर्मेशन, जैसे आई एम एक इंफॉर्मेशन एक ब्लॉक, यू आर दूसरा इंफॉर्मेशन दूसरा ब्लॉक, ही इज तीसरा इंफॉर्मेशन तीसरा ब्लॉक, तो वो तीनों कनेक्ट हो गया तो वो ब्लॉकचेन बन गया। तो सबसे सिंपल शब्द में आप ऐसे ही ब्लॉकचेन को समझ सकते हैं। कोई उसमें कोई बहुत बड़ा वो तीर नहीं है कि जिसको आप नहीं समझ सकते हैं। कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन को आप एक ब्लॉक में क्रिएट कर दिया तो वो एक ब्लॉक बन गया। वैसे ही मल्टीपल इंफॉर्मेशन का मल्टीपल ब्लॉक्स एक दूसरे से कनेक्ट हो गया तो ब्लॉकचेन बन गया। तो यहाँ जैसे आप आपका प्रोडक्ट है, किस फील्ड में, आपका फील्ड ए में मान लीजिए ज्वार हुआ, ज्वार आपका 50 केजी हुआ, उसको अब आप बेच रहे हैं, तो मिस्टर बी को बेच रहे हैं। मिस्टर बी मान लीजिए दिल्ली में है, आप बेच रहे हैं पंजाब से, तो अब पंजाब से चला, मान लीजिए आप ट्रैक्टर से भेजे या ट्रक से भेजे, तो अब ट्रांजैक्शन में क्या होगा, एक तो आपका हो गया कि बायर कौन है, एक इंफॉर्मेशन। दूसरा क्या हुआ, आप किस तरह से भेज रहे हैं, लॉजिस्टिक प्रोवाइडर, तो उसका इंफॉर्मेशन हो गया, वो दूसरा ब्लॉक हो गया। तो ये सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स के पास सारा इंफॉर्मेशन रहता है, तो उससे कोई एक दूसरे का इंफॉर्मेशन को फेरबदल नहीं कर सकता है, क्योंकि अगर कोई भी चेंज होगा तो सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को ही एक दूसरे से मिलके अग्री करना पड़ेगा, तभी आप चेंज कर सकते हैं, अदरवाइज यू कैन नॉट चेंज दैट। So those are immutable records. So that is why blockchain records are very trustworthy, because all the participants who are creating that record, they are responsible for the genuineness and change of that record. ऐसा नहीं है change आप नहीं कर सकते, you can definitely change it, but all the participants must agree to it. So that's how blockchain will create the genuine data for your application, for your efforts, and IoT device will help you in collecting that data. So that is how this technology works.
Thank you so much, sir. We have done with the questions. It was really very informative session. Once again, on behalf of Just Agriculture team, I thank you, sir. Thank you for joining and giving your valuable time, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. All the best to everyone. And anytime you can come back to me for anything, not a problem.
Sure.
Okay, bye-bye. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Moving ahead, now I would like to welcome Ms. Ruchika ma'am to continue with the further session. Ruchika ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Utkarsha ma'am. And a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Really, it is of my great pleasure to have you here on the 14th day of this 15-day international training cum workshop program on Agriculture 2.0. I welcome you all from the core of my heart. Last 13 days have truly been a very great experience of learning for all of us. And I'm sure you all must have learned so much from the eminent speakers addressing us from all around the globe. Now, moving on with the program, I would like to invite Dr. Pavani Kadiala, President Government Blockchain Association Advisor of the Board, MSME Business Forum, India. Today, she is with us to talk on smarter and sustainable agriculture using emerging technologies. She has several years of experience as a human resource marketing professional. She is an MBA from Magnus School of Business and has served at various positions of repute such as Chief Marketing Officer at VIPO Office, Pipra Solutions, as an International Sales Specialist at 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐝 Software Services, Vice President Human Resources at Technoforth Technologies, etc. Ma'am, you are an expert in business management, project management, supply chains, blockchains, finance, and many more fields. You were recently named as the most inspiring industry leader 2021 by Business Mint in Technology Digital Branding category. It says all about your achievements, perseverance, and loyalty with what you do. Also, you say that customer satisfaction is your prime goal, and I think this is what keeps you going ahead. With this, now I welcome you to the virtual podium and join us to deliver this lecture. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ruchika, for introducing me. It was a great pleasure to meet you all. I would like to thank first Just Agriculture team for inviting me this for a wonderful workshop and the continuous sessions which were taking from past 13-14 days as mentioned. Coming to the session, like I just wants to go directly into the session. Can I share my screen or you people would like to share it?
Yes, ma'am, you can share the screen.
Yeah, thank you. Could you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just here to discuss about the topic like smarter and sustainable agriculture using the emerging technologies. As we know, the emerging technologies are moving from like 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Currently, we are on 5.0. If you really listen the things, basically now we are discussing more on blockchain, IoT, AI, machine learning, all these things. In future, we will start looking into digital twin, drones, all these areas which are also coming up like 5.0. Yeah, here I just want to give a small introduction what exactly the blockchain is. See, it is a simple digital ledger. It's a decentralized simple ledger which is connected like in a peer-to-peer network, and also the information which was transferred. Why I'm telling regarding the blockchain technology is, if you can understand what exactly the blockchain technology, then we can see into it how it really helps in different use cases, especially in the agriculture sector. That is the reason I just want to give an overview of what exactly the blockchain is. And here the blockchain is an encrypted and everyone occurred recorded, like meaning it to be altered. We can alter the data, but whatever the altered the data, it will show you immediately affect you and reflects you along with the timestamp and where it got changed. Everything can be noted over there, and it is a decentralized, so no need of any central kind of thing. For example, I can give banking sector, which is very familiar to everyone. Every servers are being set up in a centralized system, and there the data will get stored. But coming to the blockchain technology, it is completely decentralized. If one server got hacked in the centralized system, definitely all the data is got captured by everyone. But in this technology, if one is get corrupted, definitely the other will work like a wall to save the data, and it will be protected our data in definitely a secured manner. It can be more much than transfer of currency. That is the reason if you can see like bitcoins, cryptocurrency, whatever the coins, not that which now we are using, we are also nowadays using the naming of NFTs. NFTs are nothing but what we are in the digital era, that we are buying or selling using the blockchain platforms for coin kind of digital currency exchanges. That is the reason we are coming up with such kind of activities. And encrypted information can be shared across the multiple providers without risk of privacy breach. Here, mostly the second party or the third party, who are all, we can say, the middlemen, can be removed while we are dealing with the things. Here, I would like to share some of the possible use cases using the blockchain. One is overseeing of farmer inventory. As we know, like the seeds, spurious seeds, spurious fertilizers, all these things can be traced and tracked using this blockchain solution. Enhancing agricultural supply chains after the end product receives, making them to reachable in a proper manner. For this, we can give the organic farming. When and where somebody says this is an organic fruit, this is an organic vegetable, how can we say that it's an organic fruit or vegetable unless and until we see the entire structure? to make sure of such kind of things, definitely in the supply chain, if you use the blockchain, we can track and trace the things. And modernization of farm management system, agriculture IoT optimization. IoT optimization is nothing but, as in the previous session it was mentioned, IoT is basically the hardware devices, definitely, which are used in like we can say in the water or during the pump, electricity, sensors, soil moistures, all these areas. In the coming up slides, I would like to give a little more head description over those things. Fair pricing will be there, and the agriculture subsidies oversight. We can see how the subsidies are taken care with the help of the blockchain technology, and the community supported agriculture, mobile remittance for the small farmers. As we discussed, like I can say nowadays, getting finance for the farmers is a big cause, and definitely they need a support of finance where it really helps them if we make it so easy, just like as we nowadays everyone are started using the Google Pay, Phone Pay. Even in the rural areas, people started using this, adopting the changes of the technology along with this. So these kind of changes definitely, I can say again, we may go with the barter system, which used to be happened in the previous years. So all these kind of things can also be happened in future. Greater accountability for multinationals and intensifying sustainable practices. So as I mentioned, like NFT, one is the that one will be the one of the platform where we can give the incentives. Instead of giving them the direct money, they can come up with some kind of tokens, and these tokens can be exchanged in certain areas where they would like to actually give return them in form of either goods or the services. Yes, here I just want to give what exactly is happening. See, nowadays the agriculture value chain is complex and insufficient, because as we know, the wastage of the products are happening because of poor logistics and the storage. Mainly logistics and storage are the key areas while we are moving our food products, any agri products from one place to the other place. And the storage really makes an important thing, because once the end product gets delivered from the farmer end, really we need to have the definitely need to have a strong storage capability and capacity to maintain, if it is a sensitive product, at the levels of the temperature that need to be maintained. So that that is the reason, to cover all these aspects and all, we are coming up with the evaluated increase in demographics, like boosting food demand, considering the all the 6 factors which I have mentioned in the presentation. That will really helps when we come up with the changes and adapting the new technologies. Here I would like to say how really the IoT and how really the blockchain helps in the agriculture industry. For example, if we take the crop and soil monitoring, warehouse and logistics, and retail and marketing, using the coming to the soil, crop and soil monitoring, the temperature, light, pH, soil conditions, pesticides, weather, these all can be taken into the control by using the IoT sensors and devices. Okay, like again, to store the data of the warehouse and logistics using the temperature, quality control, transportation, food and safety. In this, once we started in the farmland, IoT devices will be used as they are the, I can say, physical equipments that which we can touch. After that, the blockchain, it is a software kind of thing which is on the back end of the system, which will help to add the metadata and the data compliance, because we don't want to change anything once the farmer give up the master data. This master data is nothing but the information which was shared by the farmer that we store, and we can understand what exactly is happening. Using these kind of activities, the listed, like also we discussed regarding the warehouse and logistics, as we need to store the food products, the sensitive food products, definitely the temperature, quality control, transportation, food and safety, all this need to be under the consideration, and we need to have definitely have the observation over all these things, because it will prevent all the adulterations and faults and food safety, quality and compliance requirements if anything happens, and the temperature conditions. This all can be taken into the consideration. While coming to the retail and marketing, definitely the batch numbers and ideas. As I mentioned in the previous slide, it was in the supply chain. Like in the supply chain, definitely these batch numbers and expiration date, all these things will give an idea from where it is coming, from which farmland it is coming up, and how this is got stored well. And this all will give a really good idea for even the distributors and also the end customers, what exactly it is happening using this. That is the reason, if you can see, like nowadays some of the companies started using the QR codes, which are really developed using the blockchain technology, because in that QR code they can mention whatever the information that they want to have. If they scan it, definitely they will get the complete information which was stored in that particular QR code. See, this is how generally a platform sits on, like IoT based GPRS sensors, sensor connectivities, and base station control. These are mainly happens in the farm end, where the seeds starts. So I can say, like, from the seed traceability to the end customer, definitely the emerging technologies really helps the farmers to have a really good ROI, as that they are currently facing the problem of getting whatever the hard work that they are doing, it is not happening, because there are a lot of middlemen who are got involved. But this technology really helps them to get all the idea what exactly they are doing, and their productivity will get increased. If you can see, the main platform objectives are like connected sensors, extract data, process and visualize, data availability, data freshness, water management, waste management, monitoring the farm security, monitoring the tractor and harvest, crop production, remote management, predictive maintenance, and warehouse management. If you see, you can analyze yourself when we are reading all the points, that how we are connecting from the farmer to the end product, how really the emerging technologies are supporting them. Here I would like to give one small example how really this works. Actually, just IoT based operation on motor pumps, where the motor pumps will have the IoT based sensors, so that it will start pushing the water up to the level of, based on the soil get moisture. For this, I will give a best example of Kadapa district. When I visited 2 years back, it's my live example. When I visited Kadapa 2 years back, I have seen like people started using water sensor growing of sunflower plants. Really awesome. How much level of water is required for that plant to grow? The sensitivity based on the soil moisture, the water is getting cut off. After the level, the soil get moisture. This is how really helping even the people who don't have that much of water. They are bringing water tanks, and with the help of water tanks and water, they are growing the sunflower plants. Really, it's an amazing thing. People are moving ahead using the latest technologies and all. Definitely, even if we start adapting in all the area of our nation, as our government also supporting everyone to move and come up with the latest technologies, utilization and usages, definitely we can go ahead in the irrigation system as well as the agriculture system. How really blockchain helps? Here is the way, like using the transparent transactions, smart contracts. What mostly we use smart contracts. What exactly the smart contracts is? The smart contracts are nothing but the contract between the two persons without having the middleman, changing of our system from confidence from one to the other. This is how really it works. The certification, food safety, land ownership, most of sometimes what it happens, the land ownership also deals a major problem. 2 or 3 farmers comes together and say, this is my land, and they quarrel among themselves. But when we have a clarity on land ownership using the smart contracts and the blockchain solution in hand, definitely it can show the ownership in a transparent way. If it is get changed, we will have the timestamp when it got changed, by whom it is got changed. So definitely we will can cut out the person, like if something goes wrong also. And the rural finance, affordable rural remittance, IoT sensors and monitoring, and improved logistics. These are the different areas where really the blockchain can help the agriculture industry. As we discussed all the things, I just have given the outline points, like the sustainability of crop and food production with IoT to aid decision making and enhancing agriculture supply chains, modernization of farm management software. What exactly the farm management software till now, as we did not discuss, I just want to give an outline. Like it's an agriculture suppliers as well as the investors cost, providing more effective real-time monitoring on machinery and also the crops. Nowadays, people also started sharing their tractors within their village and out of the village by giving them on a rental basis. Even some companies are coming up, just like how we are going up with the Ola shared cabs and all, renting renting a car. Even we can rent the tractors to make sure the farmland has been ready. So this is how these management software will also help them to understand, and also they can write down to whom the suppliers they are giving their end product when they are giving, so that they can understand till what, if it is a sensitive product, till what date it can be like it will not get affected badly. So this is how definitely it helps. And also the managing agriculture finance through transparency. As I told, like it's a transparent system. Definitely the ledgers are decentralized. It really helps them to understand how the transactions are happening. Land registry, community supported agriculture, food safety, and incentivizing the sustainable practices. This all are also helps in area using the blockchain technology. As an advisor, I have come up with one of the company like High-Track solution, which I have seen. They have come up with the seed traceability and assurance using this their solution, how to track and trace the seeds using the value chain, like the crop management, flowering, harvesting, drying, seeding, and sowing. Everything are taken into the consideration, and the QR codes are used for the tracking of each and every product which is leaving from the factory. Here, how the water management will also get, because definitely most of the rural places are having a small ponds kind of thing where water was not at all good. Even the rivers got spoiled because of our continuous uses of waste, releasing the waste into them. So using these things also, we can able to analyze and analytic and make the things to get happen in a proper way. Just to give an outline overview how really it works. See, for example, the real-time monitoring of a water plant, how it works. The router will take all the data from the water meter, which was fixed to the farmland, and this router will distribute in a peer-to-peer network, and the router which is there in the headquarters can get the complete information what exactly is happening. So this is how really the it links with their CRM and ERP processes, whatever they are having. Definitely, when we are doing something, a real-time monitoring of a water plant, we need to have all the established kind of gateways and the internet kind of thing, which really supports them to understand how the things are working around. This is how the application really stands up using the infrastructure and also the networks, clouds, and everything, those who are in the technical aspects. Thank you so much for giving your time in listening my words. I'm open to take the questions now. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
actually, there are certain questions from our participants.
Definitely. I'm open to answer that. Yes.
Ma'am, how can people be benefited, especially the students as well as the farmers, with this technology?
Yes, if they are into the agriculture sector, the students, definitely they can start seeing into the use cases, which I have shown in the slide number 2. Okay, we have multiple use cases. It is not related to 1 or 2. We have more than 10 use cases, which are from the seedlings to the end product. At the time of seeds, seed traceability and all. See, nowadays we are also getting these spurious seeds, which are really making farmers to suffer a lot. So we need to start tracking the spurious seeds onwards, from where they are getting, what they are getting, whether they are getting from the already existing crop, or they are getting from somewhere else, which has got spurious. How can we do this? Only because by using the track and trace application. Really, a supply chain gives a value addition and give the transparency to understand from where we are getting this.
Actually, there's another question. What is the basic difference between supply chain and value chain?
See, here the supply chain is from end to end. And the value chain added where really the people start working on it and to understand the areas that which we need to concentrate more.
Ma'am, what is the benefit for smallholder farmers using blockchain-based solutions as compared to a centralized solution?
It's a very good question. Again, first of all, as per our Indian environment, most of the farmers are not well educated. So now here we need someone who were educated. Like it was really good if the BSc Agriculture, MSc Agriculture people start making learning of the farmers to understand how really the technology helps. If once they start learning and understanding these kind of things, definitely we will come to know what exactly is happening with this.
Ma'am, what are the security challenges associated with IoT in agriculture and how to cope those challenges?
Sorry, can you just come once again?
Ma'am, what are the security challenges associated with use of IoT in agriculture and how to cope those challenges?
Security is nothing like that. IoT devices are mainly to understand. I'll give you again. I just want to give the example. Like IoT devices are like a hardware devices, and physically that which we can touch. So definitely we use in very certain levels. Like as I told, soil monitoring, water releasing of water up to a certain level. So these kind of sensors will help them how far we can use it.
Okay,
This is how
ma'am.
it-
Ma'am, this is the end of the question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we would like to thank you for presenting
very
this
much.
beautiful lecture, and it was very useful and it was altogether a new experience to learn about IoT in agriculture. Thank you, ma'am, from the entire Just Agriculture team for delivering this lecture.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and giving me this opportunity. Have a great day. Bye.
Same to you, ma'am. So this was Dr. Pavani Kadiala, who very beautifully explained about the emerging technologies in agriculture with the help of which we can make it more smarter and sustainable. Now it's time to pay heed to our next speaker, Mr. Gopi Raj, the CEO of Fopple Drone Technology, also remembered as Mr. Drone Raja. He's an alumnus of KL University who has successfully designed the remote control drone to spray fertilizers in a proper manner. The success story of Mr. Gopi is really very inspiring one, as he was motivated to develop a health-friendly technology for farmers as his father suffered from ill effects of spraying fertilizers manually. This motivation has earned him the title of Drone Raja, by which he is properly known. He has been honored by different awards like the Best Startup Pitch Award, Best Innovation Award, winner of August Fest 2016, and many others. Even his drone was brought by the Vice President of our country, Honorable Shri Venkaiah Naidu, sir. I'm happy to welcome you, sir, to this program, as you are an inspiration to the millennials. We need more innovative personalities like you who understand the youth. Thank you, sir, and we welcome you to present your lecture.
Yeah, good evening, friends. Hope my voice is clear. Yeah, is my voice is
Yes,
clear?
sir. Yes, sir.
Right, thank you. Just a second. Yeah, is my screen also visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. So, good evening, friends. My name is Gopi Raja. It's all started. Yeah, friends. It's all started. Way back in 2015. When I was an engineering student, I used to see my father is a farmer. In my childhood, also I used to see my father, farmer, is going to his field and used to do the spraying job. At that time, I have observed not only my father and many of the other farmers also facing a lot of difficulties by spraying pesticides in his field. So then I have observed that not only my father, there are also many other farmers facing the same difficulties. Some farmers are losing their rice. Some farmers are, got lung infection, and some farmers are even got skin diseases, and some of them losing their rice. So these all things made me to think a lot, and these things made me not to sleep in these nights. And not only that, I have observed there is a special train called cancer train. Some of us may know or may not know. This train will travel from Punjab to Bahrain, and 70% of the people in this train are cancer patients. All these cancer patients are not none other than farmers. These farmers are going to the field and they are spraying pesticides in their field, and they are infected. They are infected and they got cancer. And there is a special train Punjab called a cancer train, which take patients from Punjab to Bahrain to treat the cancer patients. When I'm listening all these things made me not to sleep in the nights. Then my journey had been started. So then I went to my father and to all other farmers, and I have started collecting chandas from them to dream up to fund my dream. So then I started educating farmers like using spraying manually is not a safe technology, and we need to find an alternative. Like that, I used to have a lot of discussion, a lot of brainstorming with them. And when I was an engineering secondary student in KL University, and we all people are sitting, me and my friends and some other faculty is sitting with me, and we all are seeing Facebook videos. At that time, we have observed, Chinese people are using helicopters to spray pesticides in their field. Then someone who sat beside me, he told like, what a wonderful technology, when this kind of technology would be implemented in India. And that's the time when the seed of our idea had been started. Then I decided, why should someone from some other country must come to India and must establish this kind of technology? Why as an engineer, I can't start from making the drone scratch. Such a way I started thinking, and I started making drone from scratch. And I have zero knowledge while I am making the drone, but when I'm slowly making the drone, I have understood how to make the drone, especially for agriculture, and we made everything from the scratch. And I still remember the day when we are doing lot of trials, and when we gone through lot of up and downs, when we have seen lot of failures. Finally, the day, it's 12th October 2017. I still remember the day, a proud smile on my father's face, and applause from all the fellow farmers of my village. They have applauded us a lot, and that is the day when the first 10-liter agriculture drone had been flown up into the air. Till now, many people have tried making the drones, but these drones were not successful. Me trying making the drone, but it was not successful. But I still remember the day, it's 12th October 2017. At that time, I have seen that first 10-liter agriculture drone is flown up into the air. And that's how the things had been changing a lot. And then we have named our company called Fopple Drone Tech Private Limited. And many of us wondering why we named our company as Fopple Drone Tech Private Limited. While I have gone through the philosophies, like the world has been impacted by the 3 apples. The first apple is Adam and Eve apple, where Jesus sends male and female and tells not to eat the apple. And due to that apple, the human generation had been started, and that's how the impact of the first apple has been happened. And the second apple, when the apple fallen on the Newton's head, Newton's thinks about Newton's first law, second law, and third law, and that's how we are able to develop this kind of technologies. And again, the third apple is Steve Jobs' apple. Steve Jobs have been started this company called Apple, and that's how we are able to enjoy the technologies of laptop and mobile phones. So while I was listening to this philosophy, I thought, why should someone be the fourth apple? Why can't I be the fourth apple? And that's how I decided, and I named our company as Fopple Drone Tech Private Limited, where Fopple means fourth apple. My dream is to see, like, our children must say, like, we need to get a job in the Fopple. Such a way we want to make this company a $1 billion company. Towards that, we are doing our baby steps. And then we have launched our products, AgriDrone 1.0 and AgriDrone 2.0. AgriDrone 1.0 is the 10-liter capacity agriculture drone, and AgriDrone 2.0 is the 20-liter capacity agri-drone. And AgriDrone 1.0, where it's a 10-liter capacity drone, it can spray for 25 acres in one day. And AgriDrone 2.0 is a 20 liters capacity drone, where it can spray for 40 acres in one day. And when we launched our product, our biggest challenge is educating the farmers, where we have seen 70% of the Indian population depends upon the agriculture, and most of the farmers are uneducated, and they don't know how to use the touch phone. And for such a kind of farmers, giving the latest technologies like drone is a quite challenging part for us. Then we decided we need to start educating the farmers, and we went to the every villages, every mandal, and every door-to-door step of the farmers, and we started educating them. We are telling about the benefits of the technology, where these drones are life-saving and time-saving technologies. And then when the farmers are able to see the results of this drone technology, the farmers have slowly started calling me Drone Raja instead of Gopi Raja, and that's how I was popular in many of the states in India. and slowly people started calling me as Drone Raja, Drone Raja. And then we came up with the business model called Drone Raja business model, where we have give our drone as a franchisee, like a farmer's son or else a rural entrepreneur. Normally, if we do our degree or else if we complete any kind of bachelor degree or else any kind of master's degree, we are going to some other metropolitan city to find a job. Then we thought let's create an entrepreneur, let's create a rural entrepreneur. Then a farmer son need not to go to somewhere to find a job. He can simply buy the one drone set and he can start provide rental services to the local farmers, and he can get in 8,000 per day. And in such a way, our franchising model work. And we have given out 25 plus franchises, and mainly in AP, Telangana, and many other states are farmers. With this drone technology, we did spraying more than 50,000 plus acres with this drone technology. And this helped us to make building a rural entrepreneurs, where our Mahatma Gandhi always says like the strength of India lies in the rural India. So in such a way we are also stepping towards that, like building many rural entrepreneurs. Not only me as an entrepreneur, I am also creating a lot of entrepreneurs. And not only this, as the drone technology is the very upcoming technology and it has a multiple domains of applications. So keeping this in mind, and the next biggest challenge for the India is giving employment to the the average age of our country would be 35 years, and for this all people giving employment is the biggest challenge. And drone technologies have a multi-domain applications, so we want to bridge this gap. And to bridge this gap, we are creating army of drone pilots and drone engineers. And not only that, we have established a drone center of excellency, especially to make drones in India as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat and as part of Make in India. And we also made MOS with Skill India and NSTA, National Institute of Ocean Technology, NSTA, National Institute of Skill Development. And we also made MOE with, NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technologies, to skill youth in these latest technologies and all. And this is how our timeline went on. Like in 2016 and 17, we came up with the idea. We started making the drone from the scratch, and we had a lot of up and downs at the time. And later in 2018 and 19, we have sold around 5 drones in AP. And in 1920, we have given around 10 drones, and we made somewhere revenue around 55 lakhs. And in 2021, at the time of post-pandemic, we have given around 15 drones, and all these people are rural entrepreneurs. Like, they are finding for some kind of business, they are finding for some kind of employment. All these kind of people we are giving this drone, and they are earning around 5,000 to 8,000 per day. It's a very good income for them. And right now we are, focused towards reach the target of giving 50 more franchises. And we are mainly focusing in the South India, and we have started our operations in North India as well. And in the upcoming year, we want to give 100 drones. This is the timeline what we have planned so far. And this is the geographical, pictographical view of where are our franchisee holders and all. And not only that, we are also closely working with the government departments to give drones in the subsidy. And we want to give these drones to the custom hiring centers, where a single custom hiring center can own this drone, and they can start providing rental services to all the local farmers. And not only that, if government can give subsidies also, many farmers are coming forward to use this drone technology in large scale. Even if we go with the private public partnership model, also it works a lot. And as we are all gone through the COVID-19 pandemic, and while this my story is going on in COVID pandemic, also we have also impacted with the COVID. And at that time, for the first 8 days, we are also in the home, and we thought, how can we provide service to the nation? And we went to the local municipal corporation to Vijayawada, and we have explained about of using drones in this COVID pandemic. So then we went to all the municipal corporation, went to the Vijayawada Municipal Corporation, and we in April 2020, I remember, like at the time of peak pandemic time, we went to the red zone areas, containment zone areas. We went there and we have started spraying sodium hypochlorite to disinfect that area where people are not having dare to go. At that place, we went and we used our drone technology to provide the service to the society. And I still remember the day, like I used to get calls in the morning 4 a.m. from the municipal corporation authorities, and I used to go to the burial ground where the COVID patient had been buried. And at that place, no one was there to go. We used to go there and we used to send our drone there and we used to start disinfect the whole localities. And such a way we have provided service and all. For this, all these things we have been appreciated by the governor of Andhra Pradesh also at the time in the COVID pandemic. And I would like to share some of the achievements what we have received, like the article which always says, which always motivates me to push my boundaries, which always says, gift for dad, no boon to the farmers. And I have received Rightness Purskaram from the Honorable Vice President of India, and also in some of the articles in local media. And with this, I would like to thank some of the support system who had helped me a lot to reach up to this stage. One is 𝐾𝐫𝐴 University, where I did my engineering, and Global Technologies who had seed funded us, and Joint for Development Foundation, where 𝐒𝐳𝐢 Joint Director 𝐁𝐡𝐻𝐿 𝐊𝐵 had helped me a lot, to reach many farmers. And currently I am working with in building a very unique drone technology which is called Disha drone. Like we have Nirbhaya incident in Delhi and Disha incident in Hyderabad, where there is a woman harassment is being happened, and in this both incidents, quick response is the biggest challenge. So to overcome this kind of situation, we came up with a new technology called Disha drone technology, where this drone is integrated with the 4K RGB camera and the thermal camera, and we want to deploy this drone in every police station. Like in every police station, we want to deploy these drones, and if an SOS call comes, immediately this drone will travel up to nearly 10 kilometers range, and it will give the live data to the police control room, police station, so that immediately that quickly we can respond to the incident what is happening, and we can get the two-way communication between the drone to the ground, and from ground to the drone we can have a two-way communication, so that we can alert the local people also. We are working on building this solution, and we also did a POC for 5 kilometers, and right now we are working out to make a trial run for 10 kilometers as well. And I would like to share my goal, like we want to see our product Drone Raja in every farmer's house by 2028, and we want to build and execute this Disha drone to help all our systems to overcome this kind of harassment, and we want to be the next $1 billion startup. And I would like to request all of you friends to help and support us to reach many farmers. And I would like to conclude my presentations like with saying a famous quote of Azim Premji, which always inspires me, which says, if people are not laughing at your goals are too small. My journey had been started with a small idea, and till now we have came up this far, and with all your support we can reach masses, I think. Yeah, right now I'm open for questions. We can have a discussion. And I would like to share the video of how the drone works actually. This is how the drone spraying works. The meeting లో ఉన్నాను అంతే. నేను వస్తానండి. So this is how the drone spraying works.
So you are not audible, sir. So please unmute yourself.
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
No, have you gone through my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, there's a power cut was happened. That's why I was connected in the mobile phone. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Right now, I'll go down and I want to see the drone actually, right?
Yeah, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah. Oh. So this is all the drones we are using. These are all 10-liter capacity payload drones. Okay. It's a drone, these are all the 10-liter capacity drones, and it's a 4-rotor system. And these are the batteries we will use for the drone. Okay, and if you want to see, my people are doing a test flight. So, here is where we'll do all the testings of the drone. I'll show you. Just a second. So it's my home and office. So here we'll work and we'll do all the activities here itself. So this is one of the drone. It's again a 4-rotor system. It's a 10-liter capacity model. This model was the more successful model in Indian agriculture. So, and here one of my teammate is working on repairing the batteries. And currently I am working on building this man flying drone. So it can carry a person. It can carry a person. And here you can see we have a drone, 4 sets of batteries, a charger and a generator. Okay. And again, this is our drone Raja 2.0 model, where it comes with a drone and 4 sets of batteries and 2 chargers and a generator. And this is how it sprays the pesticides in the field. And it can cover up to 8 to 10 feet of the area. And this drone is again a 10-liter capacity model. This is the one which was more successful in Indian agriculture. And this is the drone what I'm speaking about. It can carry a payload of 30 kgs. So till now, people made a drone which can carry 10 kgs and 16 kgs. But this drone is especially can carry around 30 kgs. And I call it as a small 𝐒𝐢𝐧𝐝 drone. And this drone can, this drone can carry a payload of 5 kgs, and it's very easy to carry. So it's a very nice model, very nice design. People love this design much. And you can see here, you can see this video where farmer is spraying pesticides with the drone. Here is the operator and he is operating the drone. Yeah. Yes, now I'm looking for questions.
Yeah, okay, sir. Sir, how drones can be used for the assessment of crop losses?
Yeah, actually, right now we are much focused on the pesticide spraying activity. So many farmers are getting it. Labor was very difficult nowadays. So right now we are focusing much on the pesticide spraying activity. But as you said, like We can use these drones for multiple applications. Like what we can do is we can integrate this drone with a multispectral camera, and with this multispectral camera, we can get the NDVI data. Okay, we can take a picture of, we can take a normal picture and we can convert it to a NDVI picture, and we can analyze how the crop index was growing and all. We can understand those things also. For that, we want a different kind of application. The drones what I have showed you is a specific spraying drone, and we'll use a different drone for that purpose. Yes, please.
Okay. Sir, how drones can be, sorry. Sir, what is the price of cheapest drone? which you are
Actually,
having?
a drone cost is hardly 3 lakhs, something like that. But we need to have it like a complete kit. We need to have it like a drone, 4 sets of batteries, charger, and a generator. With the complete kit, we need to have it.
Okay, means if a farmer has to buy a drone, he has to spend 3 lakh rupees.
Yeah, you need to spend minimum of 3 lakhs, 3 to 5 lakhs.
Okay.
Now, normally, a farmer will not buy these drones. Actually, what will happen is even a 100 acres farmers also not interested to buy the drone. Why? Because he can spray this 100 acre within 5 days.
Yes.
Okay,
Sir.
within 5 days we can complete the spraying of 100 acres. But mainly people who are looking into it as a business, like they can start buy this drone and they can start renting out to all the farmers. Yeah, even I have some friends in Taiwan and Thailand, and where even women entrepreneurs will buy the drone and they will have a income on using these drones in the fields. Yeah.
Sir, what about one battery discharge time? Means what is the time?
Yeah. What will happen is each drone battery will get for 1 acre. One set of battery will come for 1 acre, and with this one set we can spray for 1 acre, and we'll charge this battery. It will take 10 minutes to cover 1 acre. Okay, I'll explain. So we'll give this drone as a complete unit. You can note my number. Friends, many people are asking the number. You can note my number. Please, you can note my number so that you can be in touch with me. So it's 9989-838337. Okay, and we'll give this as the Drone Raja 1.0 kit. It comes with a drone, 4 sets of batteries, and a charger and a generator. Okay, with one set of battery, we'll spray for 1 acre, and we'll charge this battery with this.
Sir, we cannot hear you, sir.
He is disconnected. Wait for a while.
Okay. We will wait for a while. Sir is joining. Sir has joined the session. Sir, just wait for a while. You're not audible. Sir? Yes, sir. Now you can start, sir.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'm open for questions. I think you have understood the whole.
Sir, I think you were showing something, sir, during that period.
Yeah, no problem. So you want to see the drone flying?
Yes, sir.
Wow. నానా కూర్చోబెట్ట ఒకసారి కూర్చోమని మాట్లాడుతుంది ఒక జూమ్ కాల్ ఉన్నది సో యా Yes, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see the drone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible. Sir, you have.
Yes, yes. నమస్తే అండి లేదు ఒకసారి లేకండి ఒకసారి పైన లేట్ తీసిన yes yes I'll get back to you also స్వామి ఒక్క నిమిషం వచ్చేస్తాను మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను yes hello
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
so have you enjoyed it
Yes, sir. Sir, we'll come to the question session now. Sir, one of the participant is asking that what is the recharge time? Means how much time it will require to.
It's 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes.
Okay, within 30 minutes, the battery will be charged, fully charged.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, what are the drawbacks of using drones in agriculture?
Okay. Drawbacks. Actually, the cost is very much high. Yeah, the cost of the drone is very much high. That's the problem. So many farmers are unable to adopt this technology. That is one thing. And one more is the cost of that's what. And you know, these things need to be standardized. The government needs to come up with the policies, and many of the agriculture people must come into this business. So we are technocrats. We can build drones from different applications. Okay, but definitely, no, technocrats like agriculture people like you must come into this business.
Sir, means if it is not feasible for the farmers, like the cost is too much, what we can do for it? Is there any alternative option? Means low cost drone or something like that?
Yeah, actually, farmers directly not to buy the drone, but what people can do is the local entrepreneurs can buy and they can start provide service to other farmers.
Like means on rent, you are telling.
Yes,
they can rent the drones.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, when we use drones for applying pesticides in field, will we need lesser amount of water and pesticides than the amount required for spraying with the sprayer?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Sir, how drones will be helpful in livestock monitoring?
Yeah, it's a very good application, but people are coming up into that. It's not exactly standardized. It's still coming up, into because of that.
Okay. Sir, in 30 minutes, how much time it can take a flight and do spray? Means within a 30 period of time.
One set battery will work for 10 minutes only to spray for 1 acre. Okay. And we charge the battery with the generator, and with the second set we will spray for 2nd acre. And with the third set we will spray for 3rd acre.
Okay.
Means
30 minutes of charging will allow the spray will allow the drone to spray for only 10 minutes, and again we have to charge the battery. Is it like that? Okay.
Yes.
Sir, do they have a training ground, and how much does it cost for a student from it? Is asked from a participant.
I'll give the best price, and you can call, maybe around 12,000 like that.
Okay. So 12,000 for training, sir.
12,000 for training.
Sir, how much days it will be there?
It's for 15 to 1 month, 15 days to 1 month.
Okay, with 12,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Sir, what are the aspects that one should be aware of using the drones?
Sorry.
Sir, what are the
Sorry?
aspects that one? Sir, am I audible? You can hear me.
Yes, 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 yes,
Huh.
yes, yes.
Sir, what are the aspects that one should be aware for using the drones?
They need to go through around this DGCA permissions. If it was in India, they need to be aware of this DGCA permissions.
Okay.
Okay. And if they are out of the country, they need to understand about their aviation law of other countries.
Sir, which are the ideal conditions for flying a drone in the field?
Okay, maybe at morning and evening hours, morning hours and evening hours.
Means we can't fly the drone during.
Which people are flying it in the afternoon also, but that's what I am telling you. Well, all the agriculture people must come into this industry and they need to standardize these things. Okay, my perspective as a technocrat perspective. If you say 10 liters is not good, I'll build 15 liters. If you say 15 liters is not good, I'll build something else. Okay, so you agriculture people must come and you need to be. Currently, I'm in Jaipur. I'm interested in training. Which location? So actually, one of our friend is asking. He's in Jaipur itself. He want to come to the training. So
Yes.
actually, we have all our facility in Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, so means are you in future? Are you trying to start your franchisee in other states also?
Yeah, definitely. With your support, definitely.
Okay, sir. Because many of the participants are asking for offline training from your side, sir.
Yeah, see, actually, though in offline training also, I personally will train you. Okay,
Yes.
I personally will train you. My team who are experts in this field from past many years, they will train you. Okay.
Sir, can we use the drones for analyzing pests and insects in the farm?
Huh? Sorry.
Can we use the drones for analyzing the pests and insects in the farm?
Yeah, people are using NDVI sensors to detect.
Okay. Sir, how can we view the plant health data by using drones?
Plant health data, like these technologies are very upcoming technologies. Still, it was not completely, it was not completely, came into the utilization.
Sir, is there any role of drones in crop insurance?
Role of drones in crop. Yeah, people are using it. People are using drones in crop insurance also. Like they are sending drones and they are understanding how much area was flooded or something like that, and people are coming up into the commercial part of that also.
Sir, I think you answered this question, right? Do we require some license to fly drones in India?
From DGCA we need to get.
Yes. Sir, how can we get that license?
Yeah, DGCA website. In DGCA website we can understand.
Okay. Sir, so is there any law related to drone in India?
So as per DGCA, like any drone must not fly more than 400 feet. Without permission. Without permission, we should not fly more than 400 feet. That is one thing. And if we are flying in any red zone or yellow zone, definitely we need to take permission. In green zone, DGC had segregated the field into different zones: red zone, green zone, and yellow zone. So in green zone, you can fly up to 400 feet. But in red zone and yellow zone, you should not fly more than 400 feet.
Okay. Sir, you mentioned previously that a drone will cost you for 3 lakh rupees. But what is the and you said that the full set has to be taken. So what is the price of full set of drone? Means with batteries, charger, generator, and all?
Yeah, it's around 5 lakhs.
5 lakhs.
Oh.
Sir, are there any courses available for drone technology?
Yeah, right now we are only offering one of the offline course, and we can plan to, if any, we can plan some courses in your college as well. If you are from any other college, definitely we can plan for 3 days workshop or 5 days workshop. We can plan like that also. Yeah.
Yes. Sir, what are the problems which we can overcome using drone technology?
The major thing is one is we are working on solving the farmers' problem. Okay. Currently, I'm working on man flying drones where a person can travel up to 100 kilometers. Okay. So it was quite challenging, but I'm working towards that.
That's really nice, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I think some of means one of the participant is international participant. He's
Yes,
asking that whether he can get a drone there.
Yeah. And which country it was?
Don't know which country it is.
Hmm.
Country they have not asked. Just they are asking that can you supply outside India also?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm? Yeah.
Nigeria, sir.
Okay. Hmm. Nigeria. No, in that country it was not possible.
Sir, okay. It is not possible, sir.
No, it's not possible.
Sir, in India, who are eligible for buying drones?
Anyone, any graduate or else undergraduate, any person who pass the 10th class, they can buy a drone, but they need to apply for the DGCA.
Means there is no criteria. Means anyone with a proper knowledge can apply for it.
Mm.
Okay, means directly on DGC website, they have to register themselves.
Mm.
Sir, is there a chance of getting jobs in your company?
Yeah, definitely. But they need to take a training.
Yeah, sir.
But they need to
First,
try a training of drone piloting, and definitely.
sir, means
Not
if
only
you
me,
said
many of
that,
the companies are looking for a proper drone.
sir, as you may, said earlier
Mm.
that you are providing
Yes,
training
yes.
with 12,000 rupees
Mm.
for 10 to 15 days or a month. Sir, so after
Mm.
that means permanently or you are giving full-time job to that
Mm.
trainer if it's suitable for you?
Yeah, we'll give a full-time job.
Mm.
So we'll give a full-time job for the people who got the training and who was looking for a placement. Like we have operations in North India also. We have operations in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and in Karnataka also.
Okay, sir. So,
Hello?
sir, with Just Agriculture, we can have a collaboration of training, right, sir?
Sure. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
See, people come up with a proposal, like anyone who is interested to work with us, you please come up with a proposal, or if you're an MBA student, if you're an agri MBA student, you come up with a proposal, sir, let's do this kind of activity, and I'm open to give some stipend or something like that also. Like if you are located in Maharashtra and you're looking for some kind of part-time job and all, and let's go to Maharashtra and let's do some kind of marketing and all. Let's grow some business. So where you can win and we can win. And like that also we can plan some kind of stipend or some kind of profit margin, something like that also we can plan. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Mm.
Thank you so much, sir. We are done with the questions.
Mm.
Sir, one more question that you said that 12,000 rupees for training. Sir, does it include accommodation and all other facilities?
Yes, it includes the accommodation. Includes the accommodation.
Okay.
But
So
food
means
would be the
this,
separate. Food will be the separate.
okay. So means currently this training will be conducted only in Vijay, means at your that place only.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. It was really a very informative session. Thank you once again from Just Agriculture
Yeah.
team for giving your valuable time and interacting with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, and one more thing, you people all can follow up me in LinkedIn and in Instagram.
Sure, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
you can search as Don't Raj in Instagram. I'll be very active in Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Definitely, all people can stay in touch with me.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
one more thing to ask.
Yes, please. Yeah, please.
Sir, do you have any brochure for your training? Means, like you said now.
I'll share you. Maybe right now we are creating all those things. We are creating all those things. I'll share you all the documents. Huh?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
We'll be heading towards our next session. Stay tuned. We'll be our next guest will be joining soon.
So, good evening, everyone. So, just keep calm and be stay tuned with us. Our guest is joining us very soon. So, be patient and we will be starting soon our next session. So request to everyone, don't leave the meeting. We will be soon connecting with our next guest and soon we will be starting our session. So be patient and be in the meeting. So, participant, our next speaker is just about to join. He is just joining within a 5 minutes. So, just keep calm and stay tuned with us. So, good evening. It gives me immense pleasure to extend you a very warm welcome on behalf of Just Agriculture e-magazine, who has clubbed all of us here for the virtual training come workshop. I welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Francisco Aurelia, CEO, Dr. DPS Badwal, co-collaborators and dear participants for the last session of the day, 14th day of this virtual training program. Before this, I would like to quote something. A farmer is a magician who produces money from the mud. It's truly justified for today's topic. So I feel privileged to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Aurelia. He is the founder and CEO of Harvest Harmonics Corporation. He has extensive history as a business professional with experience of 31 years as a forensic accountant, business engineer, and strategic visionary. His current passion, Harvest Harmonics, is a biophysics and agricultural technology company benefiting farmers across the world. His new agricultural technology was 20 years in development and has now been released in its perfect stage and backed by empirical results showing a significant increase in photosynthesis, causing faster plant growth with increased yield on nearly 400 farms worldwide since launching January 1st, 2020, just prior to COVID. So they are headquartered in Florida and have a corporate office in New Delhi. Harvest Harmonics has the vision and strategy to become one of the biggest company in the world with no end in sight to its potential growth and strength. It will also be the basis for increasing health conditions worldwide. So to know more about the Harvest Harmonics, we would like to call Mr. Arlia. Sir, now platform is all yours.
Thank you so much. That was an extremely impressive introduction. I appreciate the honor to be here. I want to first of all thank the Future of Just Agriculture and the distinguished guests for the invitation to present and speak to all of you. And I want to say that the one thing that's really important about this presentation is that you understand my background is a forensic accountant. I'm an investigator. All my life, I have been doing investigations, and I'm always looking for the truth. So about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I made the decision that I wanted to start investigating agriculture and finding a simple, truthful solution, you know, to the world's problems with agriculture, because it was very clear to me that there was a problem in every country, and so I will get into that background and then get into the technology and tell you what all of what we discovered. But I would like everyone to understand this one fact. My sole purpose is to help all of the distinguished, hardworking scientists, doctors, and agricultural specialists around the world. And I'm so grateful for this invitation, because it gives me an opportunity to present to all your distinguished guests, to invite them to participate and work with us to then help them help their countries. So by all means, I want to start with a little bit more information about myself and my purpose. So as the CEO of the company, my responsibility is to get this technology to the rest of the professionals in the world, the opinion leaders, and get them to figure out how they can use this to better help their own countries and their people, to improve agriculture worldwide. So that's the main purpose. Okay, it's also to find those distinguished people around the world that we can collaborate with, that we can work with, to accelerate the understanding of this new science and this new technology, to better understand the plant world. And so, you know, and then obviously for me, it's super important to then get feedback and find out from all the professionals and all your distinguished guests, you know, what is it that I can provide, or what is it that you would like from me and my organization, so that we can better support you and your endeavors. So that being said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company. And the first thing I need you to do, and this is a little difficult, but I need everyone to do this. I need you to erase any conceptual idea that you have about agriculture, you know, about the way things, you know, normally work. You know, most of this technology is completely different. It does not operate based on any of the principles that we have been learning and studying for the last 70, 80 years. There have been scientists that entered into this world of signaling, of frequencies, of being able to communicate with plants or to plants and get plants to grow. But none of them had broken the code, basically. They all had a piece of the puzzle, but none of them had broken the code. And the distinguished inventor, Mr. Fulvio Baumelli from Biomedics Center in Como, Italy, had been studying body physiology, the human body physiology, and using biophysics, which is an advanced medical science, to study the body and how to heal the body. In doing so, he realized one important factor. That was the most important factor, that the body gets healthy based on what you put in it. And that, even though that's common sense and common knowledge, it wasn't scientifically, you know, principally known. So he said that until we can get food to be completely natural and grown with less petrochemicals or no petrochemicals, and just grown completely natural, supporting the nature, we're not going to get healthy bodies. So as a medical researcher, he started to study plant physiology. And in 14 years of studying plant physiology and running his trials, he was able to develop a microtransmitter that could transmit over 3,000 signals to the world of agriculture, to plants, and basically get them to grow faster, healthier, more natural. And today I'm going to explain more about that. And then I'm going to show you case studies, that we have done all over the world. And I mean all over the world, in different climates, different soils, different atmospheres. And then also let everyone know that we've invited the whole world to do 1,000 scientific trials all over the world with the top universities, top governments, everywhere and anywhere. 1,000 scientific trials on all different plants, different atmospheres, different soil types, different water types, different mineral types, different salinity levels of water, just to show and prove and document with more science that we are the future of farming. We have developed and discovered the coating to help plants grow naturally. So I'm going to start by let me get my presentation up here.
Yeah, sir. Just wait.
Hold on one second. Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir, you can share your screen.
I think I need to have the right to share the screens in order to do it. Doesn't yeah, it won't. I don't see the option to share my screen. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see.
Sir, you must have got the option, or else you can just share it with us. We'll share it by our side.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm going to bring it up and you tell me if you can see it. Do you see my screen?
No, sir, you have not shared your screen.
Okay, so.
Sir, in lower footer, you have an option of share screen in green color.
Yeah, and so I click on it. Ah, there it goes. It just activated. Very strange. All right, thank you. Excellent. You can see my screen now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right.
So please make on full screen mode or presentation mode.
Yeah, hold on.
Yes, click on this. Yeah,
Yes.
perfect, sir. You can start.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So the first thing to understand is that we are the most advanced plant booster technology, right? And that we're able to grow stronger, healthier, more nutrient dense plants faster. So think of that concept, more nutrient dense plants. Now, before I get into this, all right, I'm going to get into some reporting data, but let me let me do this. There's another screen that I wanted to, there are two PowerPoints that I wanted to present. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so our mission is to help farmers around the world to grow healthier, better quality crops at lower costs with higher yields without harming the environment. So before we get into this, let me explain about the environment that, you know, most of you are very well familiar with, but most of the general public is not. And I was very honored to be able to watch some of the presenters over the last couple of days and see how much knowledge is out there about the environment and what the challenges are for the next 20, 30 years. And so the most important thing that you need to understand is this, that agriculture is the largest industry in almost every country in the world. Okay, so it's the largest industry in almost every country in the world, and that it incorporates and hires most of the people. It's the highest employer of most countries. Okay, so let that sink in. You know, you got the biggest industry of every country with the most employees of every country, because it is the food supply to that country and other countries. Now, the other thing to understand is that this industry uses 70% of the world's water usage. So in other words, all the world, the entire planet, all the water in the whole world that's being used, okay, 100% of all water consumption, 70% of it is being used by agriculture, okay? So that means the rest of the world, all the drinking water, showering water, all the other water is 30%. So 70% is used by the agricultural industry alone, okay? Now, you got that concept. Then you combine that with 95% of the world agriculture is conventional. That means that the world is growing food using petrochemicals, pesticides, herbicides, soil conditioners, all types of petrochemicals. That is conventional agriculture, the way we know it today. 95%.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
Yes, ma'am?
Sir, could you make it full screen? We are not able to slides.
Oh, you don't see my screen?
Sir, screen is visible, but can you make it full screen? Sir.
Oh, I thought I had it full screen. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's see if I stop sharing. Hold on. Is that full screen now?
No, not yet, sir.
So click on the share screen option in the footer.
1 second. Okay. All right. And then
click on in the footer, you have an option of full screen. Yes.
Is it full screen now?
Yeah, perfectly visible.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for correcting that for me. So as I was explaining, and 95% of the world's agriculture is conventional. So when you do the math, just simple mathematics, that means that 66.5% of the world's water is being inundated by chemicals. And we know this is true because we have all types of chemicals in our water. So we're eating food that's grown with petrochemicals, right? And many of your distinguished guests have already spoken about this. And we're drinking water that then is inundated with petrochemicals. And we go through this process of trying to clean this water and replenish this water. But you're talking about 70% of the water of the world. So that's being consumed, that's being used. This is not an easy task. And slowly but surely, as you can see with climate change, the environmental change, environmental damage, we are causing trillions of dollars of damage to our environment, ourselves, our health. It's innumerable. This was the problem that Mr. Ɓalmelli was trying to solve. And so understanding this problem is the first thing that you need to wrap your head around, okay? Because then when you understand the solution, it's gonna make so much more sense. And why I am honored to be here and honored to present so that I can accumulate scientific minds from around the world to work with us. And again, I can't be thankful enough for this invitation. So let's continue on with this presentation because I want to show you the beginning of this presentation and what this technology is based on, okay? Basically, you're looking at, excuse me, all of life has frequencies, okay? The animals operate off of frequencies. The human life is operating off of frequencies. The bugs, the plant life, all life has a vibration, okay? So keep that in mind. All of these vibrations, okay, it can either be good or they can be bad. You can tell the difference between life forms that are having bad vibrations, bad signals, okay? Because then they don't look healthy. And you see this when you walk around, just when you leave your home and you're walking around or you're going to work and you look around, you can actually see this very clearly. If you just look at how you can see a healthy tree, you can see an unhealthy tree. You can see healthy grass, you can see unhealthy grass, okay? And it's the same thing with human beings. You can look at someone and you can tell if they're healthy or they're not healthy. And it has to do with the vibrations of their at the cellular level of what's happening within their own physiology. So what is the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐻 plant booster? It's a technology it's never been seen before, okay? It basically operates off of frequencies. We put over 3,000 signals, okay, I'm sorry, I hit that by accident. We put over 3,000 signals into a microtransmitter that transmits these signals to the environment through the irrigation system, okay? So those signals, I'll just give you an example of the signals. You have over hundreds of those signals are making the water more absorbable, okay? So get that concept. You got over 3,000 signals being sent to the plant through the irrigation system, but there are hundreds of signals that are making the water more absorbable. There are hundreds of signals that are breaking down the water clusters within the water because larger clusters are not absorbable by the plant's roots. So that's breaking down the water clusters into smaller clusters, okay? Then you have larger signals, other signals that are enhancing the roots of the plant, okay, to open up its pores, to make its pores wider so that the water can be more easily absorbed. At the same time, there are hundreds of signals that are making the life forms, which are the microbes and the good bacteria in the soil, to wake them up, okay? Now, I'm not the scientist, but the scientists will tell you that there are microbes in the soil that pull nitrogen out of the air, okay? Talking about natural fertilizer, pulling nitrogen right out of the air. Those microbes, when they were fully active, can pull so much nitrogen out of the air that the plant can then absorb that nitrogen, because that nitrogen gets mixed in with the carbon in the soil. And you now have this natural combustion of creating a natural fertilizer. And what we do is we just put the signals. We are a signaling system that puts the signals in the soil to wake up the dormant microbes that pull the nitrogen out of the air, and wake up the good bacteria that work that physiology to create that natural fertilizer. Then we have hundreds of signals that we put into the plant, because now they get absorbed with the water. So remember, the signals are in the water. The water is absorbed by the plant. The signals are now in the plant. Those signals enhance the plant's digestive system, okay? It's basically promoting good, powerful photosynthesis. So the plant now is operating at a higher level of photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis is made up of hundreds, okay, of different mechanisms. It's not just one system. It's one system that we call photosynthesis, but there are hundreds of different things that are going on, okay? The plant is absorbing sunlight at different levels. The plant is converting that sunlight into energy, into sugars. And then it's using that to produce a product, whatever that product is. So I'm trying to simplify something that is a very complex system, but the signaling system that we use enhances all the different parts of photosynthesis so that that plant can operate at a much higher capacity. And you're going to see this with our case studies, because we're going to show you things you've never seen before, production levels that no one has ever seen before. And again, this is why we're inviting scientists, okay, and your distinguished guests and speakers from all over the world to collaborate with us, to test us, to utilize our technology on your farms, in your country, to see how it actually works and how we can benefit your country. So we're going to move on to the next slide. Where is the technology installed? It's installed anywhere where there's irrigation system. You can install it directly at the pump. You can install it in a test field, so that you can separate the control versus the 𝐾𝐚 and see the differences in for a scientific measurement or an experiment. And we have been tested in many different areas at this point with extremely impressive results. And currently, we have 32 scientific trials going on around the world. And we are in negotiation for about another 150. So we're targeting that for February, the latest March of 2022, we should have at least 200 scientific trials of the 1,000 that we're targeting initiated and in progress around the world. And many of them would already been complete, like the ones that are already in progress. And we will be publishing those results every week, every month for sure. We actually are launching our own encyclopedia of results that we anticipate that by the time our encyclopedia of scientific results is completed, we would have over 50,000 pages of science, to support our technology. So what are the main things that we do? We improve photosynthesis and we improve soil health. That is the most important thing that you have to consider. There are many other improvements of what we do okay? But the most important are improving photosynthesis and improving soil health. So improving photosynthesis, basically we're widening the range of the conditions under which photosynthesis can occur. For example, when the weather is cloudy, thanks to the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 plant booster action, now the plant expands its ability to use sunlight more efficiently, okay? And as far as the improving the soil, I had explained that earlier. We are enhancing the microorganisms in the soil. We're waking them up, basically, because what's happening is petrochemicals, they dormant them. They bypass them and they dormant them. So the good thing is this bacteria never dies, and we know that already, because that's why you rotate soil, because it gets used up and then it replenishes itself over time. That's the good thing about our wonderful planet. It can clean itself up. And we have estimated that if we got every country to start using the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 plant booster signaling system, within 5 years, every country, their soil, the sustainability of their soil would be replenished, their water would be improved. We can bring life back to the planet. So again, I'm going to go on with giving you some more information and get into the case studies. So what do we do with better photosynthesis? We get greater growth and vigor in the plants. We get greater production. We get better quality. So now we can get into the case studies. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different slides. One of them has selected case studies. The other one has some of the same case studies, but more of them. So I'll go through this one first. So here we had 100% faster growth rate in citrus, okay? And this was documented July 13, 2020 in California. Here also in California, 100% faster growth rate with dragon fruit. So this farmer basically separated, the plants, and here he sent us a picture of the two different plants side by side. This was after 21 days, okay, from seedling to full growth. Now we increased tomato production in Colombia, 100% increase in production with 0 pesticide use. That was the most impressive part. That's part of the same study. 25% increase in yield in melons with less presence of minor fly. Okay. 27% increase in production in artichokes with 50% less nematodes. More vigorous growth on squash. The interesting part about this squash, there's videos on our YouTube when I was with this farmer, and the farmer himself is explaining he's never seen his squash stand up straight. Squash, the leaves of squash, they lay down on the ground. When you look at these squash, they're standing up straight. That's how much energy these plants have. Squash lays on the ground. This squash is standing 2.5 feet off the ground. I mean, you have to see the YouTube video with the farmer in the middle of the field, and he's explaining this. He's never seen anything like it. But then we have reduced mite infestation on grapes, which any of the grape growers know that when you reduce the infestation of pests, the grapes grow more because you get less waste. There's less infestation, less destruction. So they're getting more increase in production just by the fact that we're able to reduce the amount of pests, because any entomologist will tell you that the pests will attack the weaker plants. And since our plants are full of energy, the bugs go elsewhere. And that's just the simplicity of it. But now this is a measurement that was done between the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 and control to show 38% less areophid. I'm sorry, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's a type of infestation. In India, we did a field trial, and we had 20% increase in production of eggplant with less insects. And these are the pictures that were sent to us from the farmer, So you can see, just looking at the leaves, the control field was having a lot of difficulty with growth, but the 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐢 field was clean and operating fine. Now we'll get into more yield. 49% yield increase in asparagus. Those are the measurements on a daily basis on the harvesting. Almost 27% increase in yield in watermelons. This is in Lima, Peru. 18% extra production in peppers in Washington State. 55% increase in yield in lime in Colombia. 32% increase in potato production in Bolivia. 33% increase in bean production in India. Quality. So here we're talking about production, but we're also talking about the quality, because what happened was, because of the increased quality, this farmer was able to sell his 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐢 field for more money, $1 more per kilo. So he earned an extra $46,000, almost $47,000 extra per hectare. Okay, because of the increased quality, he was able to get an extra $1 per kilo. So very impressive. Increased bricks, which is sugar content, obviously, and fruit size in California. 10% larger size, 10% increase, 10% greater increase in size in blueberries. And this is in Peru. 56% more kilos of exportable blueberries. So we say exportable blueberries because when the blueberries of such high quality, you can export them. In some countries, that's a common practice. And the reason why one of the reasons is because they will maintain their health in transport, because they have more energy, they're better quality. And we see that more and more with our technology. So this is in Chile, South America. Higher bricks with grapes in Washington State. I visited this farmer myself. We have many videos on our YouTube channel with this particular farmer, where he's just explaining what he's seen with our technology. And he's done testing himself before he used it for his entire farm. Where there's a video where he's explaining that without the technology, his entire tomato field would have been dead. But with the technology, it survived a harsh winter. And he did a control versus 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐢, and his tomatoes survived because of our technology. But you can watch the video yourself. There are many videos on our YouTube channel. And let me explain, for anyone that understands Spanish, or you want to convert videos from Spanish to English on YouTube, it's really important that you look at our sister company, our South America company called Orgánico Latam. Let me spell that for you. That's ORGANIKO, okay? Orgánico Latam, LATAMAN, Latam, LATAM.com. And if you go to our YouTube channel, between the US Harvest Harmonics and Orgánico Latam, you will have hundreds of YouTube videos. And some of those videos, the more recent ones in the recent months, have been interviews with universities in South America, that are explaining what they're finding and then their discoveries and how impressed they are with our technology and why. And you'll see the interviews with the dean of the university, or with the scientists of the university. But we have more and more interviews coming up because they're very impressed with our technology. So we're going to talk now about soil health and soil improvement, okay? And keep something in mind that, with higher soil fertility, you get higher content of minerals in the soil and reduction of electrical conductivity of the soil. We get increases of soil microorganisms, higher rate of water infiltration into the soil, and a decrease in soil soil compaction. The soil with our technology starts to loosen up because the microorganisms and the microbes are at work. Okay, and the roots are now expanding. So the plant's roots are expanding, and it starts to break up the soil and make the soil more useful. Okay, then we optimize in water production because we decrease the amount of water that's being required by the plants, and we also can use more challenging water because our technology works whether there's high salinity in the water, whether the water is contaminated or not. Okay, obviously the better quality of water, the more that our technology works, because there are frequencies in the water that could affect our signaling system. So of course we want to have healthier water, but as countries start using the technology and farmers start using the technology, this reverse damage to the planet is going to happen, and we're going to improve the quality of water, and things are just going to get better and better and better. So most important is we decrease the use of water. So instead of agriculture now using 70% of all the water of the planet, agriculture may come down to only using 60, and then eventually 50. We have been seeing some incredible reductions in water usage, and we're going to get into that. So here was a conductivity reduction test that was done, and these are. Yeah, I'm going to share this with anyone that wants our PowerPoints because you cannot read this so small on the screen. But basically, we're improving the soil conductivity greatly. So there was in Chile, we had water penetration of these almond trees. Now, I don't know how aware people are about almond trees, but to grow almonds, you use a tremendous amount of water. Okay, the statistics vary from country to country, so I would look it up in your own country. But the amount of water that's consumed just to grow almonds is incredible. It's extremely high. And here, what had happened was there was a penetration of the same depth of water. This farm had what called these electrostatic meters. I call them hydrometers that basically measure the water moisture content of the soil. And once they reach 100% saturation, it turns off the irrigation system. Well, these almond trees reached 100% saturation in 50% of the time. So they saved 50% of the water. And for almonds, that's a lot of water. 46% savings in water. And these are with walnut trees. Okay, and this is also in Chile. This is January 2021. Plus, they also got 30% extra production. So that was just give you an overview summary, and then I'm going to get into another slide. I'm just going to run through more case studies, show you how many case studies we have. Okay, so we basically, in summary, increased production. We have obtained from 20% or more increased production worldwide, no matter where in the world. We get 20% or greater increase in production, and we've already surpassed 100% increase in production on certain farms. Greater fresh weight and greater numbers of fruits. Now, let me explain this real quick. When the plant has more energy, right, especially with flowering fruit trees or flowering plants, like eggplants or peppers, what happens is there's something called a fruit drop and there's something called a flower drop. When the plant doesn't have enough energy, it drops flowers. And then it starts to grow fruit. And then it doesn't have enough energy, so it drops fruit. Okay? And then whatever energy is left over, it uses to basically grow the remaining fruit. And that's your production. And you know that dropping is called an abortion, right? It's an abortion of the flowers or an abortion of the fruit because it can't hold on to all of the fruit. Well, with our technology, what we're noticing, and the farmers have been reporting, and obviously in the production records, it's documented, okay? But the plant has so much energy that there's hardly any flower drop, or there's hardly any fruit drop. So what happens is we just produce more because we're dropping less. And that's the simple explanation, because the plant has so much more energy. Now, I just noticed there's some comments in the chat. I apologize. Okay, so avocados. So we recently started with avocados in South America, but if you have avocados in India, by all means, we would be more than happy to do a trial with you. Okay. Thank you, valuable information. And organicolatam.com. Yes, the spelling is correct. That's very good. Does it cause any side effects to plants, or what are its drawbacks? That's exactly the purpose that I'm so proud and happy to be invited here. We have not found any drawbacks with our technology. We are inviting scientists from all over the world. The reason for the 1,000 scientific trials is because we want to find out what are the limitations, okay? So far, we have no limitations in delivery. We can install to any irrigation system anywhere. We have also been able to measure that our signals can go travel up to 1 mile, okay? And we can penetrate water volumes of 2,600 gallons per minute, which basically allows us to handle any size farm anywhere in the world. So we have no drawbacks that we know of. It would be, we would like to find out what the drawbacks are so that we can further improve it. But so far, we have not found any drawbacks. So a very good question. Thank you for asking that. Let me see the next questions that I've missed here, which I apologize. Sir, please share your third slide page. Oh, yes, I will do that soon. That is very important. Yes, thank you. It is very important. Oh, what is the availability? What is the price? So it's priced differently per country because we try to work with the economy for each country. And you would just have to contact us for that. Okay. We're currently selling in about 26 countries. And as far as availability, if we're not in your country and you're interested in the technology, it's okay. We ship it from the United States so that we can get you started. And then eventually we will open up an office in every country. We need to open up an office in every country because the manufacturing and facility, the assembly has to be in every country. And that's how we keep the costs down so that we can better service the farmers. Okay, I have a couple of new messages here. I just explained the price range of the product. It will range based on country, so you'll have to contact us directly. But we have not found a farm that could not afford the technology. That you need to know. Okay, those are there are different types of plants. So how do you decide that which is the most accurate frequency for a particular? Okay, good. Thank you. I'm going to clarify that question. Very good question. We have over 3,000 signals in the microtransmitter system. So your plants, let's say it's avocados. Avocados may only need 400 of those signals one day. The next day, it may need 370. The next day, the environment changes and it may need 1,000. Okay. What we've done is we've put in the signaling system for everything that a plant needs at different levels. So trees operate different than regular plants. Okay. And we've covered the entire mapping of the plant world. So that's the reason for the 1,000 scientific trials. We're looking to find out if there's something we missed. Did we miss any type of plant type? So we're inviting people all over the world to trial us and test us. And that's why we want the university trials. And we have a program to work with universities all over the world so that farmers can get the technology and the university get the technology simultaneously and work together, because we want to do real field trials. We don't want any laboratory trials or any on-site campus trials. We want field trials with farmers in the field, real life situations. So, and we're inviting to find out if there are any drawbacks, but we have not found any drawbacks yet. Let me see if I have any more questions here. Apples and pomegranate farmers would love to increase on our yield, sir. Yes, so we have apple growers that are using our technology. I don't know exactly where in the world. I think it's California, but I'm not sure about pomegranate. I know that we were talking to a pomegranate farmer, but I don't know if he actually purchased. I'm the CEO of the company, so there's sales happening constantly. My focus is science. My focus is science and working with scientists and universities around the world and governments. So, but we do have trials and farmers that are purchasing our technology in different countries. And I know we already have apple growers using our technology. So let me see. Please share your next PowerPoint. I'm going to do that right now. Thanks for sharing the new concept. Okay, I already covered the cost. Soil condition, does this lead to nutrient toxicity or any soil-related problems in long runs? We have not seen that so far. We have not seen any nutrient toxicity from too much nutrients. And the reason for that, based on the base of the technologies, we only enhance what the environment needs. In other words, we put the signals in to enhance the environment. The environment itself decides how much of the signaling it requires. So nature is always in control. That is what you need to keep in mind. Nature is always in control. So that's a very good question. Excellent. Okay, good. So now, again, better quality. We've gone into that. And optimizing bricks levels. Let me get back to, okay, increased growth and vigor. I explained why the increased growth and vigor. Okay, improved soil health. I've already explained that, so I won't recover that. And then water use, I've explained that. And then the cost benefit. We've done many cost benefit analysis, and that is how we work with farmers. We find out what they need and want, and then we do a cost benefit analysis for them and show them how we can help them. But that is, again, that's the other divisions, the sales divisions and the promotional divisions of the company. My focus is with science. So I'm now going to share, and I'm going to run through this very quickly. Okay, my other a new share. Okay. Oh, well, let's see. I'll stop the share here, and then let me grab it there. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Let me grab the share. Okay, and there we go. So this is going to be very interesting. We received 100% increase in production in alfalfa, ryegrass, clover, and what happened is the cows started eating this this production. right? It was their feed. And what happened is they started producing more milk and better quality milk. Now, this is being measured by a top university in Colombia. And you can see their interview on our website and on our YouTube channel. But it's really interesting what's happening, how they talk about the health of the cows and the health of the sheep and the health of the animals improving with the feed. So we've seen this in Ecuador from one of the farmers that used our technology. And because we did a video interview with them, this university saw the video interview, then the university contacted us and they wanted to do a scientific trial, which is what we're doing now. And that's what's happening. We're promoting more and more of our results, and people are finding out how we're increasing the health of their animals also. And here, this farmer got 50 liters extra out of 24 cows per day in the first month. The second month, he was up to 80 liters per day. And then the third month, he was up to 140 liters extra per day with the same 24 cows. So very interesting results. That video is also on our YouTube channel. So this is again milk. This is 100% faster growth in tangerine trees. You can see the difference right there. 33% yield increase in beans. That was again India. I've showed you that one already. This one I showed you already. This one I showed you already. I showed you that already. Artichokes I already showed you. Okay, this is increase in grass. This was part of the feed. Okay, less nematodes and fungi. Okay, so that was interesting. This is rice. Okay, this is rice plants in Ecuador. Okay, you can see the difference in the plants and the thickness and the length. I showed you this. This you already seen. You already saw this one. This you already saw. Okay. Now look at the peppers here. This was in Peru. 97% increase in peppers. Look at the difference in those two fields. Look at the difference in the peppers when they were harvested. Okay. This I believe was potato field. This was 130% increase in yield in potatoes in Ecuador. I already explained the milk. This one I've showed you in the previous slide. Blueberries I showed you already. These were the scientific results from the soil improvement. I mean, basically what we recommend to everyone is to do a CEC testing before you use the technology and after you use the technology. CEC stands for cation exchange capacity. It's a general measurement of the overall health of the soil. So if you did a CEC trial testing before and after, you will see a major improvement, especially if you have to do a control versus a 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐻𝐸. Almonds, walnuts, 75% increased yield in grapes. I'm not going to play the video, a little too long. Cherries we've done already. 23% greater profit in grapes in Chile. We have a lot of grape growers. These are some of the grapevines showing the difference in the health of the vines and the difference in the root structure. You can see how many more roots are in the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐻𝐸 plant, in the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐻𝐸 vines. 66% increase in production in grapes. I mean, incredibly, incredible. Again, in Chile, grapes. We had a grape grower in Chile. In Chile, we had this incredible event happen. There was like a major rainstorm that came in, and the rainstorm destroyed most of the grapes in the whole area. But our grape farmers that had our technology survived, and they went on to be in the newspapers and everything because they survived. Nobody else in the area had grapes. When you had too much water, obviously you create all this fungus that destroyed the grape crop in that entire area. 25% increase in peppers in Panama. This was in Peru, increase in peppers. This video is on our website. This is where he explains that the tomatoes survived a fungus attack during a very harsh winter, and the control field all died, and the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐚 field, 97% of the field survived. And after that, he purchased the technology for the entire farm. Better quality. Squash, we went over this already. This one we went over already. We went over this one already. 100% increase in production in strawberries. That was at the Superior Polytechnic School of Chimborazo. This was an actual scientific university in Ecuador. 50% less use of fertilizers in Ecuador, growing flowers. I know there's a lot of flower companies between the Netherlands, South America, and India. This video was one of our trials that we did before we launched the technology. This we did in our own office facility, and you have to watch this video. I mean, this side by side, one container was infested with bugs, and the other one directly connected to it, no bugs. And that's the one that had the technology, the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐚 crop booster. Now, this is corn in Colombia. There's a major trial going on right now in Colombia where they're growing corn that has reached 4.4 meters in height compared to the control, which is 2.1 meters, and they've grown it completely without fertilizer. You can get that information directly from the university themselves. It's a field study being done by the university, a tier 1 top university. They're going to be publishing a paper on the use of our technology. But there's videos on our YouTube channel that you can watch, so you can get the information directly from the university scientists themselves. And they're giving you week by week statistics. It's very impressive. We were impressed. We were actually super impressed with that. This is a photosynthesis machine that measures the level of photosynthesis. So we were measuring here on potato plants. And so you can see that the photosynthesis level was higher on our plants. It doesn't look like a big increase, but you can see the difference in the plants. And it was a definite difference to the plants themselves. Less insects in Peru. This is the trial that was done on strawberries in Ecuador. This is 66% water savings. This is the measurement of the water penetration. And this is with that machine called the hydrometers that measures the amount of water usage, you know? So this was actually an actual measurement that was done. TEC, this is the trial that I recommend every farmer to do. They're not very expensive, okay? But it measures all the main minerals of the soil. And it's called CEC, cation exchange capacity. And there was a 47% increase in cation exchange capacity in our field compared to the control field. Here's the comparison analysis. Now we had 50% increase in cherry tree growth. Now you can see the difference here with these cherry trees in South America. The one to the left starting to look like trees, and the one to the right still doesn't look like a tree. As a matter of fact, they had a lot of difficulty in growing these cherry trees. Here's tangerine trees with faster growth in 26 days. You can see there in the pictures. Melons, 30% increase and higher BRICS rating. This was done in South Africa, Johannesburg. This was kale, spinach. You can just look at the difference in the pictures. The color, the foliage, the depth. Most of the plants that grew on the crop booster side, they all emerged. you could tell the control plants did not all emerge. Look at all the space in between. You know, so we have more emergence, which also adds to the higher production. It's just the test fields that we did on grass in Peru. You can see the difference in the colors and the fill. Greater increase infiltration into the soil of water in Chile with cherry trees. Now, this was something that blew our minds. This happened in our laboratory in Italy, where the technology was developed. We were doing a test to see the differences between the control, 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 Tech 4, 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 Tech 5, and 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 Tech 6, which were the different versions in the development stages. Tech 6 is what we released in 2019, and Tech 6 is what's being used all over the world. So you can see the differences there. But what happened was the plants all died for the winter. And then when the spring came around the following year, the control plants never grew back. But all three of the 𝐏𝐚𝐳𝐈 plants all grew back. So it tells us that we have the potentiality to turn plants that are annuals into perennials because they came back. And this was a ornamental cabbage that was used for this trial. We were looking for scientists that want to do this type of testing to see if we have the ability to increase the energy to such a level that an annual plant can become a perennial. We've seen it with pepper plants, but we need to see it with other plants. We extended the life of these roses using the technology, and these were cut roses. So we extended shelf life. Shelf life is a big thing with our technology. We increase shelf life. This was also in Colombia, more vigor. This is at the San Francisco de Paolo Santander University. This is the university that's doing the corn trial. And you have to watch these interviews on our YouTube channel. 22% increase in germination rates. Now, we explained about that. We get better emergence, better germination, and that also adds to the increase in our production. Washington with eggplants, increased bricks. This was in Mexico. Now we're getting a lot more production and more results in Mexico. We're going to be reporting a lot more from Mexico because Mexico in the last 6 months, the farmers in Mexico have just been contacting us, and we're getting ready to open up our office in Mexico. This is one of the tests that we did. Ourselves. No, this is done by somebody else. We did a trial in Russia. I could go on and on. So if you wanted to contact us, you would contact us at service@harvestharmonics.com. You could visit our website at harvestharmonics.com. If you're interested in doing a trial, please contact us immediately. We're very interested. I'm very interested to do trials. And there's our telephone number at 727-324-6750. I'm going to stop the share now. And I want to explain that it is really important for us to work with many scientists around the world and show what we can do and figure out if there are any drawbacks. But in 2 years that we launched, and we launched just before COVID, our company, we launched in October 2019, a soft launch, and then January 2020, we did a full launch. We had 3 university trials that were starting up in March, and then COVID hit in 2020 of March. So the university trials were closed because the universities were closed. And then we decided in 2021 to launch 1,000 scientific trials around the world, just so that we can further get the recognition worldwide of our technology. So I want everyone just to think with this one concept. We all have a responsibility to take care of and save our planet. We all have a responsibility to increase the health of our countries and our people around the world. We all have a responsibility in agriculture to feed our people with better, high quality food. And so with that, I invite everyone to collaborate with us. And I am so grateful for this collaboration, an invitation. And I look for a collaboration with Just Agriculture and your collaborators to work with you any way possible to help, with agriculture around the world. And unless there's more questions that I can answer, I think I'm blessed that I had extra time, because I don't know if I could have squeezed all this information in 1 hour. So I do appreciate having the extra time and being able to present a little earlier. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us an insight on such an amazing topic, Q&A Plan Booster. So, sir, now I would like to ask few questions. Like
Please.
First question, sir. Like, does this technology have any recurring or periodic maintenance costs?
Okay, so if I understood the question clearly, does the technology have any maintenance or any post-maintenance once installed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the answer is no. Okay, the only thing that we ask farmers to do, and this is very difficult for a farmer to do, because for 50, 60, 70 years, they've been doing the same thing, growing with chemicals and pesticides and herbicides. And so it's a little scary for a farmer, but we ask the farmer to start reducing their pesticide usage and chemical usage, because you have to understand that chemicals have, they have a very strong frequency. They have a very strong signal. And if you put when our signals are in the water all the time, when you're irrigating. So if you use if you spread your chemicals in the field, spray in the field, sporadically where you see there's a problem, that's okay. But if you use liquid chemicals or liquid fertilizer and they're petrochemical based, and you put them inside the water, in the irrigation system, they have the potential to overcome and destroy our signals. So we recommend to farmers that when you irrigate with just our technology, and then you want to irrigate again, you should alternate. You should use the chemicals or what you want to use separately or at distinct moments. Don't mix them together all the time, because they can get overwhelmed. And what we do to test this, and this is the only maintenance that we do, and really we do it, you don't do it. Every 6 months, we get a vial, 10 drops of water from the farm, okay? From the irrigation system, from the furthest point of the irrigation system. And every 6 months, because the technology lasts for 2 years once it's installed and activated, okay? So every 6 months, we get a vial of 10 drops of water that we send to our laboratory in Italy. And we make sure that the frequencies, the signals are in the water 100%. And if they're not operating at 100% capacity, then we replace the microtransmitter system. Okay, that's the only maintenance, but we do it. All we ask you to do is gather 10 drops of water. We send you the packaging to mail it to us.
Okay, sir. So our next question, sir, is this technology can be only applicable on fruits, flower, vegetables, or for other crop also?
We service any type of plant anywhere in the world. We have not found a plant yet that we have not been able to improve its conditions, its environment, and its production, and its quality. Okay?
Okay, sir. So we are done with the questions, sir. So thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you once again, sir, for satisfying the queries of participants.
Thank you very much. I have to say one thing. I learned this from working with people and distinguished scientists in India, and it's a tradition now that I do around the world.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
So, okay, with this, we will end today's session, and tomorrow we will be again resuming the session on the same time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.